they're just not able to get on track at all this year.
No, they have not been able to. That one win, sadly, is a forfeit win that Trimble Tech had to give them when COVID hit their roster. So this is technically a winless team on the football field, and they just haven't been able to do anything on either side of the ball. We'll dive into that in just a minute, but offensively, defensively, it's not looked good for the Shaps this season, and you wonder how hard they're going to play tonight. There's nothing on the line. They haven't won a game. They are at home, so they do have some faithful that have made it out amidst the colder temperatures. But other than that, this Shaps team is not going to challenge the Mustangs.
Now the Grapevine Mustangs going for their 8th win here in the regular season, and it is Grapevine and O.D. Wyatt tonight from Clark Stadium in Fort Worth. And when we come back from the break, we'll go inside the Mustangs war room to scout the Chaparrals. That's coming up next on Countdown to Kickoff, presented by Whirly Ball.
The Grapevine Mustangs are on Champion Sports Radio, and this broadcast of the Grapevine Colleyville Independent School District is sponsored by KTVT CBS 11. After the game, be sure to watch CBS 11 News at 10 with Doug Dunbar, Chief Meteorologist Scott Padgett, and Bill Jones with sports. By DFW Smiles, Dr. Stephen Parker and his staff are dedicated to providing you with a pleasant visit and results that you're proud to show off. By CryoNation, get cold, not old with CryoNation. They provide simple, sustainable solutions for recovery and wellness using cutting-edge technology to empower you to achieve more. By Brown Chiropractic, get your lifestyle back and go see Dr. Kelly Brown, former middle linebacker and captain for the Mustangs. By Compass Church, where their mission is navigating people to God no matter your background. Learn more at mycompasschurch.com. By First Financial Bank, a community bank in Texas with over 78 locations. By Greenleaf Roofing, next time you need any roof work done, call Greenleaf Roofing at 972-379-9109 or go online to greenleaf-roofing.com. By Whirly Ball, with 2 locations to serve you in Plano and Hurst. Life is more fun when you're zipping around in a whirly bug. By In Command Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. Lone Star Gridiron, did you play Texas high school football? If you did, you're part of an elite group, and Lone Star Gridiron wants to honor you. And by the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra. Enjoy a cultural experience with your family without breaking the bank. Visit gdyo.org for more information. Grapevine Mustangs football is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio.
Know there's a cutting-edge cold therapy right here in Grapevine. It's CryoNation, and we talked to owner Josh Brown.
A cryo treatment will help your aches and pains. It's the modern-day version of an ice bath.
And that ice bath does some pretty cool things for your body.
Our cryotherapy chambers rapidly cool the body, accelerating muscle recovery, burning up to 1,000 calories, and activating anti-aging skin rejuvenation. It's an ice bath for the 21st century.
Josh, how does it work?
Cryogenically cooled air reduces inflammation and stimulates collagen production. This reduces inflammation, which accelerates injury recovery. Collagen helps reduce the signs of aging and cellulite.
Check out the secrets of CryoNation at cryo-nation.com. CryoNation.
For far too long, we have been known for what we are against. Let's be known for what we are for. Go to 4dfw.com to share the good challenge and amplify the good in your community. Join the challenge today at 4dfw.com.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management. The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
We all have more trust in people connected to our community. Every year, Dr. Steve Parker raises money for community projects like Smiles for Life, Hope Farms, and Our Father's Children. Steve has donated hundreds of custom-fitted mouthguards to Grapevine football.
When you need a dentist, come to DFW Smiles. I'm Dr. Steve Parker. We'll take good care of you and your family.
Go to dfwsmiles.com or call 817-281-3444.
Living in North Texas provides all of us with an amazing quality of life, including an affordable cost of living, outstanding schools, unbelievable cultural opportunities, and the best sports around. But we also have to put up with severe storms. Hi folks, Champion Sports Radio President and Founder Thomas Lee here to tell you when a hail or windstorm comes through your neighborhood, do what we did and call Greenleaf Roofing. Greenleaf Roofing is a fully insured, locally owned and operated company built on the values of amazing craftsmanship, affordable options, and innovative solutions. And they are proud that those values still stand as a foundation for their business today. And did I mention Greenleaf Roofing has 24-hour emergency service available? It's nice to know Greenleaf Roofing will be there in a hurry if you need them. After the first experience, I became a customer for life and have used them on 3 different homes. But don't just take my word for it. Learn about the Greenleaf Roofing difference yourself by calling them at 972-379-9109 or go online to greenleaf-roofing.com to find out how you can get your free quote. Greenleaf Roofing, the #1 choice for all your roofing needs.
Are you showing your support for the Grapevine Mustangs in style? Check out the latest Mustangs gear at the Spirit Shop at all the home games on the north side of the stadium, or log on to shop.ghsmustangs.merchorders.com to check out the latest gear.
And welcome back to Countdown to Kickoff. Grapevine and O.D. Wyatt tonight from Clark Stadium in Fort Worth on a gorgeous night here for high school football. And brings us to our Scouting the Chaparrals section of our pregame show. And while this is a team that has struggled at 1-9, their only victory a forfeit, one thing that's really been consistent for them through the years is the guy that's been at the helm.
Yeah, their head coach, Zach Chris, is in his 14th season at Wyatt. He's been the head coach since 2007. He's compiled a 63-84 record, and he's had a couple of winning seasons. Their best record under Chris was 7-4 back in 2011. They finished 3rd in the district that season. Their last winning year, though, was in 2017. They finished 6-4. There have just been 5 winning seasons under Coach Chris, and unfortunately this year is slated to be his worst of the tenure. They just haven't had the kids this season to make victories happen. You look at what they did last year. Despite going 3-8 in 2019, they made the playoffs. They finished 4th in the district. Their 3 victories were all in district, and they took care of the 3 bottom teams in that district. So despite the schedule, this coach does have playoff experience, and like I said, unfortunately this year it just hasn't panned out for them, their only win being that forfeit win against Trimble Tech. Otherwise, they've given up a lot of points. Yeah, let's dive into those numbers, and starting on the defensive side of the ball, they've just had a difficult time stopping anyone. They have, and Max Preps counts one of their losses twice, so you have to go in, and it's a little bit better than what it looks like. 433 points given up in just 9 games that they've actually played. That averages out to 48 points a game given up. Their worst loss was actually in the opener. They lost to Seguin 70-0. They've given up 50-plus points 4 different times this season, so their defense is a bit porous, to say the least. Offensively, though, they can score at times. They've scored against some of the other teams that have struggled in the district, 15.7 points a game. So Grapevine certainly has the advantage on both sides of the ball. Hey, you look at Grapevine, it's an offense averaging at 41 points per game, really can be a headache for opposing defensive coordinators. And then defensively, the Mustangs, if you throw in that Lancaster game from last week, those numbers go up a little bit in terms of average points per game, coming in last week at about 20 points per game, now at 24 after giving up 61. They're really one of the top offenses in the state. Well, we're just a little over 15 minutes away from kicking things off here on a gorgeous Friday night, Grapevine and O.D. Wyatt. And when we come back from the break, we'll hear from head coach Mike Alexander, get his thoughts on last week's game against Lancaster and what he looks for tonight as his team gets set for the playoffs next week. That's coming up next on Countdown to Kickoff, presented by Whirly Ball.
Grapevine Mustangs win. It is what we do. Speaking of winners, Grapevine has had another winner since 1976, and that is Rick's Hardware. Rick's Hardware carries the best of the best when it comes to hardware and decorative plumbing. And they have an incredible showroom in Grapevine at 1200 Mentors Chapel Road, Suite 400. You can meet the friendly staff there or call them at 817-481-8807. If you have a kitchen or bath, you need to know about Rick's Hardware in Grapevine.
Hi, this is Doug Dunbar from CBS 11 News. We find ourselves in a situation today none of us ever imagined. But from day one, we told you sharing information that helps you make decisions which make sense for your family has been our goal. That hasn't changed. Neither has working hard to find the bright spots, especially here in Texas. Uplifting stories make us all feel better. So thank you for trusting us with what you need to know and those stories that help our spirits grow. We're CBS 11 News, the ones for Texas.
Are you a member of the Grapevine Mustangs Booster Club? Do you know about the many things that the Booster Club does to support your team? Log on to ghsmustangs.com to learn more about how you can help and support your Grapevine Mustangs.
Whether you're trying to get over an auto accident or just want to get your lifestyle back, the outstanding team at Brown Chiropractic Center is dedicated to helping you reach your goals.
I firmly believe that when your body is aligned, it functions much better, just like a race car performs at top speed when it's properly aligned. When you need an adjustment, come to Brown Chiropractic Center.
Chiropractic treatment can be used to treat a wide variety of physical issues such as migraines and headaches, chronic pain, carpal tunnel, pain due to injury or muscle strain, and of course, back issues.
I know what it's like to get banged up playing sports. I was a Mustang linebacker and loved it most of the time. I had help healing my aching back from a chiropractor in high school. When you need help to get back on the field, make an appointment with Dr. Kelly Brown at Brown Chiropractic Center.
Brown Chiropractic Center, an official partner of Team 100.
I'm Dr. Brown. I played for the Mustangs in 1977, and I want to wish the players, coaches, and parents the best of luck.
Online at brown-chiropractic-center.com.
If you are hearing this message, it is because our Grapevine Mustangs are playing football. Watching and playing football is one of the many privileges we get to enjoy in this great nation. Our special thanks to the GHS athletic trainers and coaches for installing and maintaining protocols to keep our players and staff safe. Go Mustangs!
Stay up on all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow at Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/championsports. For Championship social media.
Welcome back into Countdown to Kickoff. It's Grapevine and OD Wyatt tonight from Clark Stadium in Fort Worth. It's time for our pregame visit with Grapevine head coach Mike Alexander. And coach, you didn't have much time to prepare for Saturday's game against Lancaster. You get late word really there on Thursday as you prepared to kind of put together somewhat of a game plan. What were your takeaways, though, from that game, a chance to see really one of the top-ranked teams in the state?
It was great to see just really elite competition. You know, we hadn't seen it in a while, and obviously the score wasn't anything we're super proud of, but as the game went on, we were really proud of how we began to close the gap as the game went on in our level of competition. And that was the talk during film study, on Monday was, all right, so the game didn't go like we wanted. Let's look through this video and figure out how we can close that gap, because they're a 4 or 5 round playoff team. So we got to figure this out. And, we came up with a few things that we thought we could do a lot better if we, had a chance to play a team like that again. And so it was all beneficial, I think, in the long run.
One of the real bright spots from that game is what you saw in the passing game. Elijah Steele, a couple of big touchdown receptions. And he seems like he's really come on the last couple of weeks.
He has. We just kind of settled in on we're utilizing our personnel well right now. We're asking guys to do things that they do well and not asking them to do things they don't do well. So one of the things Elijah's gotten really good at is the vertical ball, and so he's going to catch some of those from time to time.
Coming in tonight, you really start to get some guys back healthy. Garrett Johnson's in the lineup and Griffin Edwards as well. Do you feel like your team's getting closer to full strength really at the right time of year?
Absolutely. We'll suit up most everybody, on our roster tonight, and we're excited about that, especially getting Griff and Garrett back. And then, next week we'll pick up a couple dozen JV kids that have had a really good year and that can spot play here and there, especially on some special teams, and that'll add value to our team as we go into the playoffs as well.
I think back to last year against Azle in the playoffs. Parker Polk was the guy that stepped in, kind of that similar situation. How much benefit is that for a guy to have that type of experience, and how much do you see that pay off in years to come?
Well, obviously it's paid off big time for Parker. He went into off season with a different mindset, not a mindset that I was a pretty good freshman player, but a guy that, I can compete at this level, and he approached it that way. And then the other last Saturday, playing the Lancaster game, we finished that game with about 5 or 6 JV players on defense, and they came in and played really well. And honestly, it wasn't a huge drop-off from them and some of our starters, so that's encouraging.
I'm talking with Mike Alexander. We're getting you ready tonight, Grapevine and O.D. Wyatt. And let's talk a little bit about O.D. Wyatt tonight. What do you want to see from your squad, both sides of the ball?
Clean. We want to play clean. We want to. We don't want to have a bunch of busts on the offensive or defensive side. We want to play assignment football, error-free, and then get out healthy and not a lot of jawing. That's a concern right now a little bit. When you're playing a team week 10, 11 that doesn't have anything to lose. And these guys over here, our guys, we have bigger things going on next week. So I'm going to have a tight leash on them. If they want to talk instead of play, they're going to be standing on the sideline with me.
Well, you've got a district title under your belt for this year, and you put yourself really in a great position. You host next week. What does the playoff picture look like as you kind of begin to think about next Friday?
Yeah, so Abilene Wiley at our place at 7 on Friday night. And then, hopefully we can have a good week of preparation, give ourselves a chance to win that one, and then it's on to West Texas, El Paso. We don't know who from El Paso. Don't even know if they're going to play football this week and next week, but that's what the bracket shows.
Looking forward to wrapping up the regular season as we get set for the playoffs next week. Always enjoy the visit. Best of luck tonight.
All right, thanks, Reagan.
You bet. That's Mike Alexander. It's Grapevine and O.D. Wyatt tonight at Clark Stadium. Countdown to kickoff on Champion Sports Radio continues right after this.
If you need a family dentist, you need to know Dr. Steve Parker at DFW Smiles and Grapevine. Steve gladly offers a complimentary second opinion. So if you get hit with dental sticker shock from a corporate dentist, go see Steve. Plus, he's a big supporter of Mustang football.
I'm Dr. Steve Parker. I hope you're enjoying the Mustangs game. Come see us at DFW Smiles and go Mustangs.
Go to dfwsmiles.com or call 817-281-3444.
Hi, this is Doug Dunbar from CBS 11 News. We find ourselves in a situation today none of us ever imagined, but from day one we told you sharing information that helps you make decisions which make sense for your family has been our goal. That hasn't changed. Neither has working hard to find the bright spots, especially here in Texas. Uplifting stories make us all feel better. So thank you for trusting us with what you need to know and those stories that help our spirits grow. We're CBS 11 News, the ones for Texas.
Want to learn more about your Grapevine Mustangs after each game? Each week of the season, you can go to ghsmustangs.com to see and hear from the head coach of the Mustangs on the Coach Mike Alexander Show. The Coach Mike Alexander Show is sponsored again this year by Chemisod with Compass.
And welcome back to Countdown to Kickoff. Just a little over 5 minutes before Grapevine and O.D. Wyatt get set to kick things off here on a terrific night for high school football. Team captains getting set to come out and meet at midfield. And let's talk about our key storylines tonight for this ball game. And really against an O.D. Wyatt team that's 1-8. For the most part, for Grapevine, cannot afford to come out flat tonight.
No, you can't. And that's the only chance that the Shaps have today is obviously to jump on the Mustangs early, get some of that momentum, and then continue the snowball rolling down the hill. Grapevine just needs to come out and play their football. There's nothing special that they need to do as long as they play similarly to how they have each and every one of the rest of the games this season. They'll win very comfortably. And you heard Coach Mike Alexander talk about how they need to come out and play clean football on both sides of the ball. That's paramount here. Defensively, don't have any busts. Don't get stuck into the penalty game. There's no reason to give the Shaps a chance tonight, and playing clean football will prevent that.
And visiting with Coach Alexander before the game tonight, one thing he'd like to do is be able to get out to that early lead, and be able to really get some of these backups and the younger players some experience tonight.
Sure, and you've seen that at some points during the season for sure. I think Grapevine has a great opportunity to do that. Play the first half hard with your offense, your number ones, and then really, if everything shakes out the way that we think it will on paper, I think much of the second half can be played by guys that don't get as much playing experience.
Now, with all that being said, perhaps our biggest storyline tonight with the playoffs on the horizon, I want to get out of here healthy.
Yes, absolutely. We talked about that last week, too, especially at the end of that Lancaster game when it got a little chippy. You don't want any injuries. Again, this game means absolutely nothing. There are no playoff implications on the line. This is a get-in, get-out type situation. And so you want to make sure that your guys are comfortable. If there's any sort of question as to whether or not they're feeling good, playing good, if they've taken a hard hit, get them out of the game. We want everyone available for next week when the Mustangs host the first round of the playoffs.
Well, Derek Engel, the team captain for Grapevine, out on the field and shakes hands with Bryson Coleman, team captain for O.D. Wyatt. The Chaparrals have won the toss, and they have deferred, so the Mustangs will receive. And Grapevine, when they get the football, will be going from right to left to defend the south end zone. And we'll see that that vaunted offense of the Mustangs averaging at 41 points per game, 356 yards of offense, and we'll get our first look at Grapevine on the offensive side of the ball in moments. So we come back from the break, we'll have a look at tonight's starting lineups for the Mustangs as they get set to take on the O.D. Wyatt Chaparrals. This is Countdown to Kickoff, presented by Whirly Ball on Champion Sports Radio.
Sundown in Texas, and the Mustangs are herding up.
This is Mustang football.
Lineups, and we'll see Grapevine on the offensive side of the ball first tonight. Here's how they look across that offensive line. Drake Beckwith and Josh Logan are the tackles. Travis Mason and Dylan Beckwith, the guards. And then Jason Short is the center. The quarterback, Max Cowgill, a 5'10", 180-pound senior, has completed 64% of his passes, just over 1,600 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions for Cowgill on the season. And then in the backfield, Caleb Tejada. Caleb is getting closer and closer to 1,000 yards on the ground this season, 84 carries for 765 yards and 11 touchdowns. And then the receivers, the quartet of Parker Polk, Ben Garrett, Miguel Novoa, and Elijah Steele. And then chance tonight, you'll see Griffin Edwards there at the tight end, as well as Leighton Towery, the freshman. Defensively for the Mustangs across the front line, the defensive ends, Nick Chavoyer and Christian Watson. Aiden Cassidy anchors the middle at 6'2", 265-pound junior. The linebacking core for Grapevine, Cade Keeling, Mason Shimkus, and they welcome back Garrett Johnson to the lineup tonight at the weak side linebacker spot. Garrett had been out the last 4 weeks. That's a huge boost tonight for the Mustangs defensively. The corners, Meshach Ngoe and Savion Shockley, and then Jackson Yarbrough, Cameron Wagner gets a start tonight. They're at the bandit linebacker, and Keegan Courtney round out that three-man crew at the safety spot. Mustangs and Chaparrals have made their way onto the field. You're all set for Grapevine football. It's coming your way next right here on Champion Sports Radio.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by Champion Sports Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Champion Sports Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Champion Sports Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. This is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship
Ladies and
broadcasts.
gentlemen, at this time, would you please rise and kindly remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. A reminder, military veterans and current service personnel not in uniform are authorized to render the hand salute. And now, to honor all the troops around the world, our national anthem.
Wyatt Chaparrals here in the final game of the 101st regular season of Mustangs football. Hello, everybody. I'm Reagan Ratcliffe along with Mitch Mason. With cool temperatures here in the Metroplex tonight and the high 50s. Really not much breeze to speak of and clear skies. The lights are on here at Clark Stadium on the southwest side of Fort Worth. Grapevine coming in with 7 wins on the season. Really 2 losses. You could say 3 with the loss to Lancaster last week, but they are this. They're a perfect 6-0 in district. They have claimed the district title. They take on an O.D. Wyatt team tonight that is 1-8. They're winless in district, and so they're looking to play the role of spoiler tonight. The only time, interestingly enough, the only time in program history that these two teams played came back in 1998. That was the second round of the playoffs that year. Grapevine won 35-12, and that was en route to their second state title in school history. And so since 1998, last time that these two teams have taken to the gridiron. The head coach is Mike Alexander's in his 4th year at Grapevine. 32-13 is the head coach for the Mustangs. 8th year overall as a head coach. 47-38 as he had 4 years as a head coach at Mount Vernon before coming to Grapevine. The head coach for O.D. Wyatt, Zach Chris, and really the Chris family has been a huge part of this O.D. Wyatt football program going all the way back to the mid-1980s. His father, Willie, was the head coach back in 1984, and then both of his sons, Anthony Chris and then Zach Chris, who is now the head coach for O.D. Wyatt, both are on his staff, and it was Zach who eventually inherited this Chaparrals football program. A couple of stints here as he had a few coaching years there in the Arlington ISD, and then came back to O.D. Wyatt. And Zach Chris now 14 years as the head coach for the Chaparrals. The Mustangs will receive the kickoff. Right to left, Grapevines in the white jerseys, red numbers and letters, the blue pants and the white helmets. O.D. Wyatt, solid gray tonight as this kickoff comes down to the 20. It's bobbled by Ben Garrett, picks it up at the 30, 35, 40, rumbles his way up to the 41-yard line, and that is where Grapevine will set up shop. First down and 10 on their opening drive tonight. Here comes Max Cowgill and company, and an offense averaging 356 yards per game, 41 points per game. And you break down the numbers, 222 through the air and 134 on the ground. Well, here comes the Grapevine offensively, and they'll operate from the shotgun. Leighton Towery is the tight end, and I believe Griffin Edwards also in the game. So really, Towery is more at the H-back. Edwards is a tight end, and the receivers set to each side. Play action, and Cowgill's going to throw on first down. No, to the handoff, rather, to Tejada. Great play fake by Cowgill, and the handoff to Tejada gets past the 50, up to the 46-yard line. That's a first down for the Mustangs.
Anytime it fools the play-by-play crew or the camera crew, you know it was a great play fake.
Oh, and a new formation, too, for Grapevine. Maybe something for Abilene Wiley to have to look at on film this week. Grapevine comes out on a brand new look. H-back, motions right to left. 2 receivers, wide side left, hand off to Hada. Tries to squirt his way through off left tackle, and he's bottled up, hemmed in after just a minimal gain of a yard to the Chaparrals 43. Well, Parker Polk will set up wide side right. Ben Gare now a little bit confused, and Polk will come back to the left side. Gare set up wide side right. Opening drive for the Mustangs as they move right to left. The tight end is Griffin Edwards to the left. The H-back Towery is right in behind Edwards. From the shotgun, Cowgill's going to throw. Heaves it deep down the right side, looking for Gare, in and out of his hands at around the 5-yard line. Great coverage, and the defensive back up top got a hand in there. Knocked it away, and a 3rd and 9 is coming up.
That went right through the bottom of the breadbasket for Ben Gare. It looked like maybe he's trying to cradle that ball instead of going up and high pointing. It's always a little difficult when you're looking over your shoulder to make that kind of catch, but I'm sure Ben will tell you that's one he should have had.
Well, it's a 3rd down and 9 now for Grapevine. 10:47 in the first quarter. Opening drive. Mustangs operate out of a 3-receiver package. 2 to the wide side left and 1 up top. DeHaat is the running back out of the shotgun to the left of Cowgill, who claps his hands down on a 3rd and 9, slings it left side, caught by Edwards. First down yardage and more to the 25 and spun down to the 23-yard line.
Griffin Edwards, welcome back to the starting lineup. Saw him a little bit last week as a punter against the Tigers, but watching him warm up tonight, he looked limber, he looked loose, and I think that's really encouraging to see. It's a cold night. If you were still kind of dealing with those muscle injuries, I don't think you'd be playing tonight.
1st and 10 from the Chaparrals 23 after that first financial first down. A handoff to Hada, off tackle left to the 20 and down to the 18, taken down from behind by DeMarcus Anderson.
Well, the Mustangs are going to lean heavily on that rush attack tonight. You would anticipate them running the football a lot, looking at the O.D. Wyatt front. There's just not a lot of size there.
On a 2nd down and 5, Cowgill wide open to Polk at the 5 and into the end zone. Parker Polk with his 4th touchdown reception of the year, and he was wide open off that right side. Mustangs are on the board, 6-0 with 9:53 to go in the first.
Well, you heard Coach Alexander talk about not wanting any breaks defensively for the Mustangs. The Chaparrals have one right there. The safety didn't get his head around and see that Parker Polk was in the slot right side as the Mustangs go for 2 and get it easily.
Yeah, walking right in, straight up the middle. I believe Mason Shimkus. I think that was right, and the Mustangs were extend that lead 8-0.
Shimkus was out there. I think it was Blake Dixon that took the snap and ran it in. We saw them run that play, what was it, 2 weeks ago? 3? I'm forgetting when exactly, but they ran that exact same play. Dixon, as the holder, faking as if he's going to adjust something, and then just simply takes the snap and walks into the end zone.
Well, Cowgill to Polk on the touchdown pass. The Mustangs have an 8-0 lead after the 2-point conversion. And so 9:53 to go in the first quarter. Grapevine will kick it off. And it will be Braxton Russell to tee it up from the 40-yard line.
I don't need a scoring recap when you don't take a break in between scores. The Mustangs are going. The pace tonight is pedal to the floor right now.
When you got to feel like for Mike Alexander, maybe his thought process tonight is let's get up big, get these starters out, stay healthy, get ready for next week. And also to note, a couple of wrinkles offensively, just in terms of formations that we saw there on that opening drive. A different look with a tight end and H-back. Russell, high, booming, end-over-end kick. Comes down at the 1-yard line, fielded there, straight ahead to the 10, now running left at the 15-20. Bit of a seam, 25-30, up to the 35, and then whacked at the 37-yard line. Nice return for O.D. Wyatt. And I have to check the number on the return. I believe James Washington on the return for the Chaparrals. They sets up nicely at the their own 37-yard line with 9:44 to go in the first.
That's certainly better starting field position than what the Mustangs have typically given up when they've had a good special teams unit all season long. That time maybe a little bit of a missed coverage. There were some blocks thrown by the Chaparrals that opened up a seam.
So a 1st down and 10, O.D. Wyatt left to right. Shotgun snap back to Barrett, the quarterback. And there's a pass that is tipped up, picked off. Grapevine's got it. First play defensively for the Mustangs, and they force a turnover Correct me if I'm wrong, Savion Shockley, I believe, came up with that.
Yeah, that was Savion, number 29, and that throw from Barrett just simply behind his receiver. You saw the receiver kind of stop his route because the ball was thrown into a different zip code, and well, the only man occupying that was a white-shirted Mustang, and just like that, one play defensively, Grapevine's got the ball back.
At the 42-yard line, they were the 42 of the Chaparrals. Great starting field position here for the Mustangs with 9:39 to go in the first. Inside give. Tejada now runs right to the 35, 30, into the secondary. Breaks a tackle at the 17, slung down to the 12. Huge chunk of yardage for Caleb Tejada.
And you feel bad a little bit for the Chaparrals. Their roster's smaller than most. They have a lot of two-way guys. Their defensive line wasn't set on that play. They were scrambling all over the place, and Grapevine just continuing to push the pace here.
First down and 10 at the Chaparrals 11. Cowgill throwing flat on the left side, and it's incomplete. He was targeting Miguel Novoa, and that pass was into the turf. Second down and 10 coming up.
And that's one of the things that we've seen this season is as Cowgill warms up and gets into a rhythm, every once in a while he'll have one of those gutter ball type passes where it just doesn't get to the receiver. I think Max is working on ways to kind of warm up quicker and find those tempo passes earlier in the game.
Tied into the left side, and Edwards and H-back set up that way. Handoff to Tejada, squirts his way through it into the 5, and he's into the end zone untouched. Caleb Tejada with his 12th rushing touchdown of the season. Mustangs cruising right now at 14-0 with 9:03 to go in the first.
And Tejada doesn't need a whole lot of room to operate, but he got a ton of it there. Great job by the Mustang offensive line. The linebackers just didn't have a chance. The wide receivers doing a good job keeping the safeties on the outside, and Tejada can operate in a phone booth. He had all kinds of real estate that time.
Now the extra point from the left-footed J.D. Rice. The extra point is up and good. Rice booms it through. He's 38 of 38 on the season. 15-0 Grapevine in the blink of an eye with 9:03 to go in the first quarter from Clark Stadium.
Grapevine Mustangs win. It is what we do. Speaking of winners, Grapevine has had another winner since 1976, and that is Rick's Hardware. Rick's Hardware carries the best of the best when it comes to hardware and decorative plumbing. And they have an incredible showroom in Grapevine at 1200 Mentors Chapel Road, Suite 400. You can meet the friendly staff there or call them at 817-481-8807. If you have a kitchen or bath, you need to know about Rick's Hardware in Grapevine.
11-yard touchdown run for Caleb Tejada gives the Mustangs a 15-0 lead over the Wyatt Chaparrals. With 9:03 left to go in the first quarters, the Mustangs prepare to kick it off and go on defense for just the second time tonight.
Tee it up from the 40-yard line. Braxton Russell will send this one into the night sky with 9:03 left to go here in the first quarter. Already the Mustangs up 15-0, not quite 3 minutes into this ball game, and Russell puts toe to leather and drives this one to the end zone, and it will bounce through the end zone, and that will give the Chaparrals a first down and 10 at their own 25. 9:03 to go in the first quarter, and Grapevine up 15-0. Mustang Nation tonight after the game, be sure to watch CBS 11 News at 10 with Doug Dunbar, Chief Meteorologist Scott Padgett, and Bill Jones with sports. Weeknights only on CBS 11, your official Cowboy station. There was one play on offense for the Chaparrals, and Cade Barrett's pass was intercepted by Savion Shockley. Shockley's third interception of the year. Barrett is a young freshman, and he's got the size, 6'1", 210 pounds. He stands in the shotgun. Running back in the pistol formation is behind him, and he turns and hands it straight ahead, right into the teeth of the defense, and driving his way to the 30-yard line. Nice pickup of close to 5 yards on first down. I believe that was Tamadre Ross, the running back that snuck through.
No stats available on Barrett, but I'll tell you this, he was not fun to play against in middle school, I'm sure.
Well, with that size, I mean, impressive for a freshman with that kind of frame,
Yeah.
right? He turns and gives to Ross. Ross runs left, cuts up inside. He's short of the first down by about a yard. And in on the tackle, Aiden Cassidy was around the pile. I believe also Cameron Wagner, who gets a start tonight at the safety spot.
I'm not sure when you had your growth spurt back in the day, but mine was well after freshman year. So I would have been looking up at him 2 or 3 times.
Well, he is a load, and he'll be somebody to watch. Even though Chaparral's team is only 1-9, as he gives this to Ross. Ross stacked up at the line, pushed back, He is not going to get to the first down marker. In fact, he may have lost half a yard or so, and it's a 4th down, a long, very long one, maybe 2 for the Chaps.
The past couple of weeks, we've been asking about more measurements, asking for the chain gang. You don't need it there. Great job by the Mustang defensive line penetrating that offensive set and, well, at least forcing a punt formation. The Chaps are 1-9. I wouldn't necessarily blame them for going for it here on 4th down out of the punt formation.
I believe this is Joey Rodriguez to punt for the Chaparrals. Stands back at his 21. Here comes Heat, gets it away. It's a wobbly kick near side, bounces at the Mustang 45 and straight up into the air, and then angles towards the sideline. At the 43, it's touched there. Mustangs will have pretty good field position for the 3rd straight time tonight. They start in a good spot here, their own 43 with 7:26 left to go in the first quarter, and the Mustangs up 15-0. Mustang football tonight is brought to you by Brown Chiropractic. Get your lifestyle back. Go to see Dr. Kelly Brown, former middle linebacker and captain for the Mustangs. Caleb Tejada sets up in the pistol behind Max Cowgill on a 1st and 10. Trips wide side right, and Gare is singled up to the short side. From the gun, and a handoff to Tejada. He pops through midfield to the 45, now running right. Breaks a tackle now down the sideline. 35, 30. Breaks another tackle at around the 20 and is shoved out at around this. See if they mark him at about the 16. Another incredible run by the junior running back Tejada.
Well, Tejada may just get hot here in the first quarter, and then Mustangs say we don't need to play him anymore the rest of the game. He's doing whatever he wants in space. There's a timeout taken, I guess, by O.D. Wyatt. He didn't give an indication. But, I mean, what else can you say about Caleb Tejada? The kid is electric, and you just get the feeling that tonight, depending on how much playing time he gets, could maybe even be a career rushing evening.
Yeah, he's already well over now 800 yards on the season. Now take into account that Caleb missed about 3 ball games to injury early in the year. They really didn't get him back until the beginning of district. He surpassed a milestone last week, over 2,000 yards rushing in his career. He had 111 yards against Lancaster. That's saying something against probably one of the better defenses in the state of Texas.
Well, and against a lot of size and speed, too. I mean, we talked about that the entire game, that not only is the defensive line big and fast, but they had 6'1" linebackers and safeties, and Tejada was making them miss, running, beating them to the corner. So there's no doubt Tejada has one of the best skill sets, maybe even in the state of Texas.
Cowgill stands back in the shotgun on a 1st and 10 from the Chaparral 17. Going for the end zone for Edwards, and that's a touchdown. He found him in the back right corner of the end zone. 2nd touchdown pass tonight from Cowgill, and the Mustangs are running away from the Chaparrals. 21-0 with 7:08 to go in the first.
Well, that's just what they call the Z-spot route. Is you bring a wide receiver that runs inside to take the safety with him, and you've got the H-back or tight end lined up on either a linebacker or a corner, and Edwards just simply runs a corner route that beats his man. Wide open, very easy throw for Cowgill.
Extra point now from Rice, out of the hole to Dixon. End-over-end kick is through and good, and it's 22-0. Grapevine up big. 7:08 to go still in the first quarter. This is Mustangs football on Champion Sports Radio.
Living in North Texas provides all of us with an amazing quality of life, including an affordable cost of living, outstanding schools, unbelievable cultural opportunities, and the best sports around. But we also have to put up with severe storms. Hi folks, Champion Sports Radio President and founder Thomas Lee here to tell you when a hail or windstorm comes through your neighborhood, do what we do and call Greenleaf Roofing. Greenleaf Roofing is a full insurance company built from the values of amazing craftsmanship, affordable options, and innovative solutions. And they are proud that those values still stand as the foundation for their business today. And did I mention Greenleaf Roofing has 24-hour emergency service available? It's nice to know Greenleaf Roofing will be there in a hurry if you need. After the first experience, I became a customer for life and have used them on 3 different homes. Don't just take my word for it. Learn about the Greenleaf Roofing difference yourself. Call them at 972-379-9101. Go online to greenleaf-roofing.com to find out how you can get your free quote. Greenleaf Roofing, the #1 choice for all your roofing needs.
Max Cowgill tosses his 24th touchdown pass of the season, his 2nd tonight, recently with a 17-yard touchdown pass to Edwards, the tight end. It's 22-0 as the Mustangs lead O.D. Wyatt.
Braxton Russell's kick, relatively short for Russell at around the 8-yard line, fielded there running right to the 20. and then waylaid at about the 25-yard line, pushed back. It is very difficult to tell who has the football for the Chaparrals. I'll be honest with you tonight. It's the gray jerseys. They have got kind of the Columbia blue, North Carolina, about the North Carolina Tar Heels, that kind of Columbia blue type number. But it is very difficult to tell who has the ball tonight.
It is. There's not really. I think it's supposed to be white outlining around the numbers, but it makes it even harder to see. So bear with us as we do our best. My question to you: what's the difference between Columbia blue and baby blue?
Right,
we need to debate that tonight.
That may be a hot topic in the second half. Here is Tyreek Hilburn. I can tell you, he's the running back to the right of Barrett, and they give to the running back Hilburn, stacked up. He is pushed back, lost at 3. Boy, the Grapevine Mustangs are winning the battle in the trenches up front.
Well, and you're seeing a true ferocious nature that this defensive line is playing. Look, they know they have the advantage. They know that they're the more talented guys, the bigger bodies in a lot of cases, and they are going around and throwing their weight around right now and blowing up the backfield. That a loss of 3 or 4.
Barrett stands back in the shotgun. A bit of confusion looked like for O.D. Wyatt. They do send 3 receivers to the left, and there's also confusion for Grapevine, but there's no confusion here as there's an interception at the 30, to the 25, down to the 24 sideline, run out at about the 13-yard line. And I think, we'll see, maybe it's Cameron Wagner, I think, that came out of there with that interception.
Tough to tell. There was a bunch of Mustangs over there on that right side, and you mentioned with the confusion from O.D. Wyatt, the Mustangs were shuffling bodies around. It's either Yarborough or Wagner, one of the two. We'll see if we can get that clarified for us. I'm not sure what the route was there. It seemed like all the receivers ran stop curl routes, and Barrett expected someone to keep going. He overthrew his receiver by 6 or 7 yards, and just like that, the Mustangs knocking on the door once again.
Yeah, they have it at the 13 of the Chaparrals, already up big, 22-0 with 6:16 to go in the first. Short motion by Navoa, left to right. And Cowgill's going to go for it all towards the end zone. Jump ball for Garrett. Makes a leaping catch in the back of the end zone. Went right over the defender and pulls that one in. Ben Gare with his 10th touchdown reception of the year. And Max Cowgill has his 3rd touchdown pass of the night.
I'll tell you what, there's a couple players that might have career evenings if they're left into the ballgame long enough. There, that one thrown to Ben Gare, who has been his most lethal target, through the air. And right there, Gare flashing the hands, good athleticism, and the Lamar offer showing why he's got the goods to play at the Division I level.
Yeah, you got a recent offer from Lamar. Now 4 possessions, 4 touchdowns for the Mustangs. The extra point from Rice, good. 29-0, Grapevine, in a night which looks like this game is not going to be in any doubt. 6:10 to go in the first quarter. All Grapevine here tonight from Clark Stadium. This is Mustangs football on Champion Sports Radio.
Are you showing your support for the Grapevine Mustangs in style? Check out the latest Mustangs gear at the Spirit Shop at all the home games on the north side of the stadium, or log on to shop.ghsmustangs.merchorders.com to check out the latest gear.
There's a time and a place for everything.
Well, a 13-yard touchdown pass from Max Cowgill to Ben Gare makes this a 29-0 ball game. That's the 25th touchdown pass of the season for Cowgill, the 10th of the year for Ben Gare, and it's all Mustangs here with just 6:10 left in the first quarter. 29-0, Mustangs lead the Chaparrals.
Well, Mike Alexander said tonight in the pregame that he wanted to be able to get a lead and be able to get the starters out of the ball game, especially in the second half. You might see some of these backups earlier. Here's a kickoff from Russell that bounces at the 1 and it goes into the end zone. The interception by Grapevine on that previous possession, I believe, and we will try to find out, but if that is Cameron Wagner, Cameron's making his first start tonight at the bandit linebacker position. Talking with Mike early in the week and talking about the 6'2", 175-pound junior, it really feels like he has come on strong in the last few weeks. He is at the safety spot, a starter and a guy with him with that size. This is I think one of the most impressive things is that this secondary is only going to get better. They're all juniors in the secondary. Out of 1st down and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Barrett throws it near side high and incomplete, trying to set up a little jailbreak screen, and the pass sailed too high from Barrett.
Well, that could have been picked off again, too, if Solomon McKenzie got his hands up. That was seriously overthrown. The wide receiver was seriously overthrown, I should say, and McKenzie was the only person in the vicinity that really had an option to catch that ball. But Barrett's just not been sharp here tonight, and the 2 interceptions certainly tell the tale.
Press coverage from the corners for Grapevine on each side. On a 2nd and 10, Barrett's in trouble. Scrambles to his right, throws it away into the Chaparrals bench. Well, the Chaps tonight, on their 3 possessions, it's been 2 interceptions and a 3 and out, and they're in jeopardy of going 3 and out with a 3rd down, a very long 10 coming up.
I feel bad for Barrett. He's just not getting any help from his offensive line. A lot of these guys are having to play 2 ways. They're not normally offensive linemen with the limitations that they have to their roster. And boy, the Mustangs are bringing the house right now.
They've walked every linebacker up on that line of scrimmage. They're pinning their ears back. Here they come. Barrett, screen pass incomplete. That ball is on the turf, and it was a forward pass at around the 20 and incomplete. So a 3 and out for the Chaps. And the Mustangs are going to get the ball back with 5:57. Oh, it was about maybe a 25-second possession.
I don't even know if that much time came off the clock. And, you know, the unfortunate part for O.D. Wyatt has had a brutal season. As we mentioned in the pregame show, this is the worst season that head coach Zachary Chris has had during his tenure here due to a variety of reasons. But the receivers just look defeated already. You see these balls bouncing off their hands, and it's almost like they expected that to happen.
Rodriguez punt from the 12 and nearly had it blocked, but he gets away. A great kick. Gare makes the catch. He fair catches it at the 49 of the Chaparrals. The Mustangs tonight, their worst starting field position in the first quarter has been at their own 41. And this is the 3rd time that they will have started a possession inside Chaparral territory. 5:51 to go in the first quarter, and already 29-0 Grapevine. And a quick strike offense here, you get to 35, 36 points in the first quarter. I think you're going to start to see some of these backups here pretty quick.
I think so, too. I think you're going to see a number of shifts come in for the Mustangs, and we might get to see some trick plays. Something that the Mustangs normally wouldn't try. You might break it out of the bag and see if it works.
Well, here they
like
come.
This.
Yeah, Miguel Naveau on a little toss to him on a little sweep, and then O.D. Wyatt runs that play down, the 47-yard line, kind of strung it out. That's great pursuit by O.D. Wyatt. I believe Amari Moore that came screaming downhill and knocked Naveau off his feet after a gain of 2.
Yeah, it looks like they had 6 or 7 defenders in the area to make that tackle. See how many more Tony Romo moments I have tonight. that might be the only one.
Well, they've got the H-back set to the right, and Edwards, 3 receivers. Cowgill, quick pass, near side Gare, caught at the 40. Now, what do you got up your sleeve here? 3rd down and 1 for the Mustangs.
He's fumbled the ball. I'm not sure if they're saying he was down. Gare took a shot down low and dropped the football. They're going to say that he was down by contact, which is a break for the Mustangs. For a second, it looked like the Chaps had the ball.
3rd and 1 at the Chaparrals 40. I don't think it would be any stretch of the imagination to say that number 3 is going to get the ball right here.
I think that's a pretty safe bet. Give the ball to your playmaker and just let him get 2 yards.
Tejada's to the left of Cowgill on a 3rd down and 1. It is a give to Tejada, and he carries a tackler from the 37 up to the 35. One of the few times tonight that O.D. Wyatt's going to push up front. Tejada shows his strength to move the chains.
Yeah, it looked like the Mustangs tried to pull the guard around, and there was a defender that shot through that gap and contacted Tejada early. But despite his relatively short stature, he is one tough kid. And you mentioned carrying a guest through the line and past the 1st down marker.
It's a first financial 1st down for the Mustangs offense. Moving right to left from the Chaparrals 35. Cowgill, deep ball down the left side for Gare. Incomplete, but there's going to be pass interference at the 5-yard line. He had a corner that was draped all over him. And once again, Gare flashes his speed. He had a couple of steps on the defender. And this will be another penalty and another 1st down.
Yeah, that's a touchdown if not for the pass interference. Gare had his his sleeve tugged off of him and just missed having his 2nd touchdown catch of the evening. But if you're the O.D. Wyatt defense, I mean, what else do you have to do? You're getting smoked here early in the first quarter. You might as well just throw whatever you have at the Mustangs and pray for a mistake.
29-0 Grapevine. 4:04 still to go in the first quarter. They've got the ball at the Chaparrals 20. Cowgill zips that pass near side and incomplete. He was crossed up a little bit with Ben Gare. That was dangerously close to being an interception by DeMarcus Anderson at around the 3-yard line on the near sideline. It's incomplete.
Sorry, Reagan. I will say this. You're up 29-0 in the first quarter. You don't want to get sloppy here. And right there, that looked like a little bit of a sloppy play. Cowgill stared down Gare the entire way, and you could see the 4 defenders for O.D. Wyatt that were dropping back in coverage all move to where Cowgill eventually threw the ball. It's those mistakes you want to limit.
2nd and 10. The give is to Tejada. He squirms his way to the 16, thrown down there after a gain of close to 5.
Just continuing to move the ball on the ground. It does set up Mustangs, I believe, with their longest 3rd and conversion tonight.
Yeah, 3rd down and 5 here for the Mustangs. Ball is on the far hash at the 16 of O.D. Wyatt. 2 receivers wide side left and 1 up top right. Edwards is the H-back. Now on the 3rd and 5, Cowgill stands in the pocket all sorts of time. Now that pocket breaks down. In fact, he's sacked back at the 25. One of the few times that Cowgill has been sacked this year as that pocket finally collapsed.
Now, the offensive line this season has taken some tremendous strides and has really prided themselves on protecting their quarterback. Yes, the protection broke down there, but at the same time, I think you expect Cowgill to have the ball out of his hands by that point. Not necessarily blaming the offensive line, just really good coverage that time by the Chaparrals.
This will be a 39-yard field goal attempt from the right hash out of the hold of Blake Dixon. Braxton Russell with his kick, end over end, a line drive kick, and he got it through and good. Russell's got such a strong leg, and the 39-yard field goal kick is good to give the Grapevine Mustangs a 32-0 lead. 2:43 to go in the first quarter from Clark Stadium in Fort Worth.
Are you a member of the Grapevine Mustangs Booster Club? Do you know about the many things that the Booster Club does to support your team? Log on to ghsmustangs.com to learn more about how you can help and support your Grapevine Mustangs.
39-yard field goal from Braxton Russell makes it 32-0 on a chilly evening here from Clark Stadium in Fort Worth, Texas. The Mustangs all over the Chaparrals of O.D. Wyatt is 32-0 with 2:43 left to go in just the first quarter.
Russell will tee it up at the 40-yard line. Mustangs have scored on all 5 of their possessions tonight. And for O.D. Wyatt, they're still looking for their first down. 2 interceptions from the arm of Cade Barrett, young freshman quarterback. And then twice they've been stopped on 3 and outs. Russell booms it from the 40. And this high end-over-end kick comes down at the 7. It's taken on the run to the 15, up to the 20, and then stood up, pushed back at the 21-yard line. Chaparrals, who have been consistently pinned deep in their own territory, start this drive at their own 21 after that tackle was made by Ivan Velasquez. So 2:36 to go in the first quarter. And it's all Mustangs at 32-0. Mustang football tonight is brought to you by the Compass Church, where their mission is navigating people to God no matter your background. Learn more at mycompasschurch.com. 3-man defensive front for the Mustangs. Aiden Cassidy moves out to a defensive end spot. There are 4 receivers in this formation for the Chaparrals. Low snap, Barrett has it. Design quarterback keeper, and the 6'1", 210-pound freshman lowers his shoulders. He's hit in the hole by Garrett Johnson at the 25-yard line after a gain of 3.
You may start to see that type of play call more and more here from O.D. Wyatt. They're not moving the ball at all through the air, so they may rely on their 6'1" freshman, who actually looks a little bit winded after that shot that he took.
2nd down and 7 for the Chaps, closing in on 2 minutes to go in this first quarter. Quick pass near side, caught at the 27, and then just waylaid as soon as that catch was made. Savion Shockley was over there. Cade Keeling came flying. And Garrett Johnson was also over there, and Cameron Wagner.
There's a thing about those jailbreak screens or naked screens thrown out to the wide receiver is they only really work if you're throwing the ball downfield before that. The Grapevine corners are playing off coverage, yes, but every single pass attempt has been underneath, so they've got no reason to start backpedaling off the snap. They're, in fact, coming forward as soon as they snap that ball.
3rd down and 6. Timeout for O.D. Wyatt. The play clock was at 8. They had trips to the set to the wide side of that formation, and Zach Chris wanted a timeout. So we'll take it with them. 1:22 to go in the first. Grapevine 32, O.D. Wyatt nothing on Champion Sports Radio.
Cryo Nation is an official partner of Mustang football.
Get cold, not old, at Cryo Nation.
The cold treatment does a body good.
Our cryo slimming and cryo lifting will naturally destroy fat cells, remove cellulite, and reduce the signs of aging.
Cryo Nation is great for those who overdo it now, even though you might have played Mustang football a few years back.
Recover faster, feel invincible, look incredible. Make an appointment at cryonation.com today.
Out of the timeout, 3rd down and 6 for O.D. Wyatt from their own 27, looking for their first down. Here comes pressure. It's coming, and sack back at the 18-yard line. Big hit on the quarterback. DeMarcus Anderson was in there at quarterback, and he took a shot from Mason Shimkus, gets the sack, and it'll be a 4th down and forever coming up.
Ouch. That shot hurt. His quarterback rolling to his left. Didn't look like he saw the linebacker screaming downhill for the Mustangs. I think he might have been blocked by an offensive lineman, but the lineman did not help him out and chip or anything like that. And it was a free shot on the quarterback for the Grapevine defense.
Boy, DeMarcus Anderson may have wished that his teammate and Cade Barrett was still out there for that one. Barrett at 6'1", 210. I could have taken the brunt of that tackle a lot better than Anderson could as this punt rolls down inside the 50 to the 48 of Grapevine. This will be the 6th possession. Can you imagine that? 6 possessions offensively for Grapevine in the first quarter. We got 33 seconds to go.
Yeah, what else can Grapevine do? We've seen a couple of sub 30-second possessions from O.D. Wyatt. Grapevine might have one on deck right here, and yeah, 32-0 after the opening frame. It could get worse here. It just you hope everyone leaves the field healthy at this point. Obviously, this game is not going to be any sort of contest. Just get everyone the reps that they need, and let's all go home safe and happy.
Now from their own 48, moving right to left, Cowgill, quick pass. Polk caught at the 45, into Chaparrals territory to the 40, bump down at the 39.
Yeah, the Chaparrals left the safety about 15 yards off the line of scrimmage in man coverage. Didn't have any linebacker help underneath to cover that slant route, and that was an easy completion for Cowgill.
From the 39 of O.D. Wyatt now, Chaparrals bringing a blitz. Cowgill throws it near side, caught by Gare, and then wrapped up and slammed to the turf at the 36. That should be the final play of the first quarter after a 3-yard gain. Grapevine is absolutely steamrolling O.D. Wyatt tonight here in Fort Worth, 32-0. As we've got 1 quarter under our belt. This is Grapevine football on Champion Sports Radio.
Whether you're trying to get over an auto accident or just want to get your lifestyle back, the outstanding team at Brown Chiropractic Center is dedicated to helping you reach your goals.
I firmly believe that when your body is aligned, it functions much better, just like a race car performs at top speed when it's properly aligned. When you need an adjustment, come to Brown Chiropractic Center.
Chiropractic treatment can be used to treat a wide variety of physical issues such as migraines and headaches, chronic pain, carpal tunnel, pain due to injury or muscle strain, and of course, back issues.
I know what it's like to get banged up playing sports. I was a Mustang linebacker and loved it most of the time. I had help healing my aching back from a chiropractor in high school. When you need help to get back on the field, make an appointment with Dr. Kelly Brown at Brown Chiropractic Center.
Brown Chiropractic Center, an official partner of Team 100.
I'm Dr. Brown. I played for the Mustangs in 1977, and I want to wish the players, coaches, and parents the best of luck.
Online at brown-chiropractic-center.com.
It's 32-0 Grapevine as we head to the second quarter. Ball is on the Chaparrals 36. The Mustangs now going left to right. From the shotgun, Cowgill barks out the signals, claps his hands. Inside handoff straight ahead. Tejada drives his way past the 30 up to the 25 of the Chaparrals and move the chains for a financial first down for the Mustangs.
It's not often that you can see a running back accelerate to full pace behind the line of scrimmage, but when the holes are that big, Tejada can do whatever he wants.
From the Chaparrals 25. 3 receivers with 2 to the right. Handoff to Tejada. He's tripped up in the backfield. Stumbles for a short gain of 2. Taken out by Tomadre Ross.
I think he tripped over his own man. It looked like he caught the heel of Dylan Beckwith, I should say, the right guard, and went down.
Second down and 8 coming up. Twin receivers to the right, one up top left. From the gun, Cowgill looking to throw. He's sacked from behind. Boy, the pressure came from the backside. He was blindsided and sacked back at the 30-yard line.
Looks like Ashton Moore. Well, that's what they say. That guy's not the size and weight listed on our roster, so I'm not sure who made that tackle, but looked like a blown assignment between Drake Beckwith and Travis Mason. They were both looking at each other kind of with hands raised like I thought you had him. So just another mixed-up coverage for the Mustangs.
Yeah, it's a 3rd down and 15 now for Grapevine. 2 receivers right, 1 left. There's a tight end and Towery to the right. Back to throw. Cowgill, long pass, caught at the 21. He fired that one to the far sideline. It was caught by Gare. Going to be short of the sticks by about 6 yards, and here comes the Grapevine special teams unit again.
Ironically, the only thing that slowed the Mustang offense down tonight has been 2 sacks, which you mentioned we haven't seen a lot of this season.
This is going to be from the left hash for right-footed kicker Braxton Russell. This is going to be from 38 yards. He hit from 39 just a moment ago. Dixon to hold. The snap is into the turf. Dixon got the hold down, and Russell booms it through. That starts with your holder. What a job by Blake Dixon to scoop that ball off the turf, put it on the tee, and Russell does the rest. 35-0 Mustangs after that 38-yard kick from Russell. 10:28 to go in the first here on Champion Sports Radio.
Hi, this is Doug Dunbar from CBS 11 News. We find ourselves in a situation today none of us ever imagined, but from day one we told you sharing information that helps you make decisions which make sense for your family has been our goal. That hasn't changed. Neither has working hard to find the bright spots, especially here in Texas. Uplifting stories make us all feel better. So thank you for trusting us with what you need to know and those stories that help our spirits grow. We're CBS 11 News, the ones for Texas.
Braxton Russell 2 for 2 tonight with field goal attempts. He made a 39-yarder back in the first quarter. From 39 yards, he makes a 38-yarder here, and it is 35-0. All Grapevine over the Shafts of O.D. Wyatt.
Russell to tee it up from the 40. With 10:28 to go until halftime, Russell's kick drives this one to around the 2-yard line. Bobbled to the turf, then picked up at the 5. Running left, trying to turn the corner. 10, 15, gets outside. 20, 25. Down the sideline, there's a flag that was just thrown. Now a couple of flags up to the 40 and the 44. What would have been the most positive play of the night for the Chaparrals is probably coming back.
Yeah, it's a hold on the Chaps for sure. It might be a multiple holds. There was a really, really big gap. The head coach, actually, it's going to be a block in the back. I think that's Zachary Chris down there talking to his player, just kind of physically blocked him out, demonstrating, hey, you can't do that. That's a penalty.
It is, in fact, a block in the back, and O.D. Wyatt will set up shop once again in very familiar territory tonight, where they've made their home deep in their own territory. And this time, the penalty is going to push them all the way back to inside the 20. See where they spot this. I believe, I say inside the 20, maybe right at the 20. Now they're going to be, they'll mark it off in the, they're going to mark it off in the 19 now. They're going to push it back all the way inside the 10, in fact, to the 9. Their worst starting field position of the night at their own 9-yard line.
And it is that second quarterback who, on their official roster, is Jared Elisher.
Yeah.
Different than the Max Prep roster.
Yeah, 5'10", 170-pound junior, inside handoff, straight ahead, and a bruising run to the 10. It met immediately. Short gain of a yard. Aiden Casti in there. And I believe also for Grapevine, maybe Turner Kane. We're starting to see some of these backups. Kane's the backup middle linebacker.
Colt Mercer was warming up just a minute ago on the sidelines, getting ready for his entrance into this ball game. It's just a matter of time. You would anticipate Liam Hamway, down there playing corner. So yeah, you're seeing backups rotated in for the Mustangs.
Yeah, 2 young sophomores at linebacker, and Way and Mears. Here's the zone read. The handoff goes left side, nowhere to go. Stood up and then buried at the 11. Great job on that near side. And a 3rd down coming up. Chaparral still looking for their first down.
Of course, in the talking about Latham Way, he's made a couple of starts this season. Made one against Lancaster when Garrett Johnson was unavailable for that, or Mason Shimkus, was unavailable for that game. So some of these backups have starting experience, but obviously the more reps, the merrier.
And Way and Mears, the two sophomores, have started to get more and more time. You talk about Way in the start. We've also seen quite a bit of Mears over the last few weeks.
They played well.
Kane is in the middle at the linebacker spot. Now on a 3rd down and 9. Here comes the heat. Pass caught at the 8. Ball's loose on the turf and incomplete. They're going to say that the pass was incomplete, as picking it up and running it into the end zone was Latham Way. Boy, what a blitz that they dialed up. And a 4th down and 9's coming up.
44 is the receiver down there. On the roster, his name is Tyreek Hilburn. You could see the panic in Hilburn as the house came towards the quarterback, and he knew he was going to get slammed by Hamway from behind and just simply didn't secure that football.
Now Rodriguez to punt. Stands a couple of yards deep in his end zone. Garrett to return. Rodriguez gets away a nice kick. Angles to the left, bounces at the 35-40, now to the 46. Garrett's going to let it roll dead at the 47 is where the Chaparrals will down it. So with 8:45 to go in the first half, 35-0 Grapevine. Mustangs will once again have terrific field position at the 47 of the Chaparrals.
Grapevine's going to get one of those punts one of these times. They've gotten very, very close the last, 2 or 3 attempts. So wouldn't be surprised to see the special teams earn some points here, but you're right. The offense setting up in plus territory again, and it's Colt Mercer that's coming to the ballgame.
Yeah, it is Mercer, the young sophomore quarterback who's seen some time this year. He came up to the varsity after Derek Engel was injured in week 1. Handoff, Addison Davis, lots of room off left tackle. He is ahead of the 40, dives ahead maybe to the 39. He's close to a first, about 2 yards short.
I believe it was this very field that last time we were here together, Colt Mercer threw his first career touchdown pass.
Davis comes out, and now they bring in another running back there to the right of Mercer. 3 receivers. Play action, pass caught by Navoa. The 30 makes a move, now bounces outside, 25. And is still on his feet and then thrown down at the 24-yard line. First time they've been able to hit Navoa tonight. There is a penalty, though, on the far side, back at around the 38-yard line.
Yeah, it's coming back. I think it's going to be an eligible man downfield. Which, how an offensive lineman got more than 5 yards downfield in half a second that it took Mercer to throw that football, I'm not sure, but you saw Mercer kind of clutch a little bit, maybe lost the handle on the football, and you wonder if it was something as simple as that cost the Mustangs a big first down.
Victor De La Cruz is the running back, young sophomore who's to the right of Mercer. You can see a couple of sophomores in the backfield, kind of the future of the program. De La Cruz with the handoff, runs right, now cuts back left. He's to the 40, about 3 yards short of the first. And we saw De La Cruz last week against Lancaster, and he was very impressive.
He was. Grapevine has a number of really, really talented kids coming up from the junior varsity team, even the freshman team. I talked to Coach Josh Dillard. We'll hear that at the half, the head coach of the freshman team, and he talks about that process and what it's like coaching a freshman team.
3rd and 3, De La Cruz straight ahead into the teeth of the defense. Looks to be short, maybe a little less than a yard. He got to the 38. I was talking to Mike Alexander before the game tonight just about the sub-varsity levels, and he said that the JV this week defeated South Lake Carroll, one of their JV squads. Nice one to finish up their season. 3 receivers on a 4th and 1. Grapevine's going to go for it. Mercer in the gun. De La Cruz, the running back to the right. 7:03 to go until the half. 35-0 Grapevine. Play clock is at 10 as Mercer changes the play at the line of scrimmage. Odie Wyatt has walked up the house on the line of scrimmage. Play action. Mercer throws. Pass tipped up and intercepted at the 22. Pass was tipped up by Navoa. It was high, and it comes down into the hands of Odie Wyatt's DeMarcus Anderson, who made the interception.
I wonder how many turnovers the Chaps have forced this season. That throw from Mercer had the right idea, and he even had his man open. Navoa running a slant pattern, but it looked like Mercer maybe hurried himself. He kind of short-armed that throw, and anytime you short-arm a pass, it has the tendency to go high, and that's exactly what happened there. So a teaching moment for head coach Mike Alexander, Braden Smith, the offensive coordinator, and their young sophomore quarterback.
6:44 to go in the second quarter. 35-0 Mustangs. Barrett back at quarterback. Rolls to his right. Short roll, pass in the flat, incomplete. Well, he paid the price immediately. The receiver was Tyreek Hilburn out of the backfield, and Tyler Mears was over there to rough him up.
And it feels like Barrett is just standing in front of the sliding glass doors on Black Friday. It is a wave of humanity coming after him every single snap, and he has got to take the snap, find the laces, and throw it in whichever direction he chooses.
Now, Mustangs defensive front three. Aiden Cassidy's there at the defensive. Emily Garrett Gardner up top. And now on a 2nd down and 10. Barrett to throw with a little more time. Pass incomplete, but there's maybe probably going to be a defensive holding or a pass interference on this near side. Tied up here at about the 35-yard line. There will be a penalty, and it should be on Grapevine.
It's either 18 James Washington or 19 Daquan Macon. The receiver, that 8 and the 9 look really similar on these jerseys. One of them got yanked down by, I guess, the safety on that play. Solomon McKenzie, who slid back to the safety spot.
I would see also Miguel Novoa at the corner spot for the first time, I believe, this year. Novoa will be the corner to the top side. And then Solomon McKenzie here on the near side, both in press coverage. That penalty gives the Chaparrals their first down of the night from their own 35. Quick pass in the flat, a little screen, and then down the sideline into Grapevine territory, past the 40, all the way to the 30-yard line for the Chaparrals. They catch the number on that receiver. Having a hard time. I don't know if that's...
Can't tell if that's
Latham Way got
or,
over there and made the tackle.
Yeah, it's...
Maybe Aaron Wilburn on the reception.
Maybe.
maybe. 6 or 8. One of you take your pick.
It looks like a backwards 3 from up here. Oh, it's number 2. It's which we don't have on a roster. Perfect.
Well, Max Preps has it as Robert Wilson. So
okay, well, hey, hope it's Robert Wilson.
Regardless, is the biggest play of the night for the Chaparrals, and it's unfortunate we can't tell you who was on that reception, but it's a 6:25 to go in the second quarter. They've now got it at the Grapevine 26. Here's the inside handoff and a nice piece of running ahead of the 21. Bear hugged and taken to the ground there by Latham Way.
Robert Wilson on the official roster is wearing 24. Someone is wearing 2, but there's no one on the official roster wearing 2. So it's
man, you're playing a team that's
a dice roll.
1-8 that has their only win was a forfeit, and it's in the midst of a global pandemic. So
not even
the troubles with the rosters.
Not even sure if they have 30 kids dressed. Looking at that sideline.
Here's the 2nd down and 4. From the shotgun, Barrett to throw, and he just throws this one out of bounds, trying to set up maybe a screen and throws it away. Speaking of COVID and this pandemic, tonight, really within the district is sewn up tonight with Grapevine's already the district champion. There's a significant game that was canceled.
Yeah, Northside and Southwest were supposed to play for 2nd place in the district, and obviously that has huge playoff implications because the 2nd seed stays home. They host the first round of the playoffs. The 3rd seed has to go on the road, and more on that after this.
There's a 3rd and 5, 2-back set out of the shotgun. Handoff, now trying to bounce outside of the right. Grapevine runs it down, but tough running up ahead of the 20 to the 19. Going to be about 3 yards short of the first down, but that play looked like it had no business of gaining positive yardage. I believe number 2 again, maybe on the carry. Sure wish we could tell you who 2 is, but...
Well, and I've had second thoughts. I mean, as he walks towards us, it looks like 6. It looks like 8. It looks like 5.
Isn't that? Yeah, that is bizarre.
It is just impossible to read.
It is a blob of a number. And the 19 now on a 4th down and 3 from the shotgun. Barrett throws, little screen pass caught at the 20, and then breaking tackles, 1st down yardage to the 11. Boy, they had him bottled up and dead to rights. The extra effort got the 1st down.
Well, and you mentioned Miguel Novoa is into the game for the first time, according to our records, on defense, and he was the one that actually missed that tackle. He had him by the jersey and just couldn't quite hang on. O.D. Wyatt, against the Grapevine backups, that has to be said, but they've looked okay on this drive. They're moving the football.
Now at the 11-yard line of Grapevine with 4:40 and counting until halftime, 35-0 Mustangs. Barrett stands in the shotgun with 2 running backs, 1 flank to each side. Mustangs bring in a blitz, and Barrett keeps it on the zone read little option play, and Barrett falls forward to about the 10-yard line.
Getting back to that playoff story, Northside Southwest, Northside coming in was the 2 seed and slated with a win to stay here at home. But They had one single positive COVID test, and the district felt like, out of an abundance of caution, it was just safer not to play that game. Northside forfeited the game, and with that forfeit, Southwest actually moves up into the 2 seed. So they will be right here, we assume, next Friday night, whenever they schedule that game. But a massive advantage to be able to stay home and have a shot at winning a playoff game.
Yes, so Northside will go on the road as the 3 seed. Here's a 2nd down and 9. The play clock was down to 0. It'll be a delay game with 3:41 to go here in the second quarter.
Right as they got into the red zone, they're going backwards. OD Wyatt did score 28 points the last time they played. They lost to South Hills 60-28. That was on November the 27th. Just for reference, Grapevine beat South Hills 59-14.
This will be a 2nd down and 14 coming up. 3:41 on the clock in the second quarter. Barrett stands in the gun, sends a man in motion. Now he's got a running back in Hilburn to his right. Barrett throws off his back foot, going for it all to the end zone. Leaping catch made in the end zone in double coverage. What a catch. And that puts O.D. Wyatt on the board at 35-6 with 3:34 to go.
That was a nice throw from Barrett and right through, maybe not the smart decision as he threw that into double coverage. I think it just simply went through 2 different pairs of hands for the Mustangs and found its way into a Shap wide receiver. I can't tell who caught that ball.
Ashton Moore, maybe 32. Boy, these are the most difficult numbers.
Yeah, we've had some difficult numbers to read in our 2 years together, but the
dark
font,
gray jersey with that light blue
and
trimmed
then a
in
white outline,
and the style of font. This number does not help.
So you said it. You called it a blob number earlier. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. The 8s, any rounded edge on these numbers just kind of squishes together.
I feel like we need to be calling this game from about 2 rows up in the stands down the bleachers to have any chance to tell you who has the ball.
No kidding. And we have great seats,
right? This is in terms of a vantage point of all the stadiums we've been at, aside from Mustang Panther. Here's an extra point that's blocked. This is really a good vantage point for high school football.
I think the best that we've had outside of our home games.
Yeah, absolutely. 35-6, blocked extra point. 3:34 to go here in the first half. It's all Mustangs here on Champion Sports Radio.
If you need a family dentist, you need to know Dr. Steve Parker at DFW Smiles and Grapevine. Steve gladly offers a complimentary second opinion. So if you get hit with dental sticker shock from a corporate dentist, go see Steve. Plus, he's a big supporter of Mustang football.
I'm Dr. Steve Parker. I hope you're enjoying the Mustangs game. Come see us at DFW Smiles and go Mustangs.
Go to dfwsmiles.com or call 817-281-3444.
There was a penalty on that extra point that was blocked. They're going to get it it was on Grapevine, so it's half the distance to the goal. And the Chaparrals are going to go for 2, and there's confusion on their sidelines, the formation. In fact, charging onto the field is Tomadre Ross. He is now the running back to the left. He sprints in motion to the right. Barrett throws over the middle and incomplete. They were looking for a little, there's a flag that came flying in late. You're going to call pass interference. There's no way that pass was catchable.
That ball was 2 stories over anyone's head. I cannot believe they're going to call that.
Well, this will move it again, half the distance to the goal, and
so do they trot out the extra point crew now?
My goodness, this will be what, the third attempt here on this extra point.
Not very often that you see that. Oh, the ball just came flying. Oh, so okay, someone threw the ball back in from the track. I was wondering where that came from.
There's a ball boy that's about 30 yards.
He's playing
behind the back of the end zone.
He's playing prevent defense. Oh, my goodness.
There's another flag. The 3-ring circus has broken out on this extra point. False start. How about this? They were going on back-to-back penalties. They'd gotten half the distance to the goal to the 1, and now with a false start, they're going to be pushed back to the 7.
The offensive,
just kick it.
The 2 of the offensive linemen both threw up their hands like, "What are we doing?"
Now they're going to go for 2 from the 7-yard. Here's a pass in traffic. Got it over the
They flip that 2-point convert. There was pass interference, stick play, and they just flipped the sides. They ran trips to the near side, and then after the pass interference, they ran trips to the far side and just switched who was running the slant route, but ran the exact same play twice.
Well, it worked to perfection on that 2-point conversion. It took them 4 tries, but 35-8 now. 3:34 to go. Well, you wonder here, Mike Alexander, does he roll back with his first team unit here? I mean, the game's still well in hand.
I will say the defense has to sharpen up a little bit. The second string defense looks like the second string defense. The second team offense, I think, looked fine. They just didn't get the first down on that 4th down try. But I don't know who. I don't think it matters who you run out there on offense for the Mustangs. O.D. Wyatt's not really going to be able to consistently stop them. But you got to find ways to tackle players defensively. There were a lot of missed tackles from, to be frank, guys that aren't normally playing even defense for the Mustangs.
Rodriguez to kick it off from the 40. And his kick, high, short, at the 25. Davis fumbles it. It's on the turf at the 27. That ball's loose. Scramble for it around the 28. O.D. Wyatt says they have it. Now, Mike Alexander may change his tune if O.D. Wyatt comes out of here with that football.
Yeah, I'd bet the starting defense rolls back out here.
That is the Chaparrals football at the 28. Well, Addison Davis was kind of caught in between and bobbled that on the return, and then De La Cruz tried to dive on it. O.D. Wyatt got there on the scramble, and it does look like the second team defensive unit is coming back out, so it'll be 1st down and 10. O.D. Wyatt's got the ball at the Mustang 29.
Well, I'm surprised. De La Cruz needs to fall on that ball. He tried to pick it up and continue running with it, and it's one of the cardinal sins of special teams is if your first man drops the ball, everyone that has a shot at it just simply needs to fall on the football. And, just a young player making a little bit of a mistake there, but chance for Grapevine's defense to step up.
1st and 10 from the 29, the run that goes left side of the 26.
This is one of the things that we talked about off the top of the broadcast was don't give O.D. Wyatt any sort of momentum. Don't give them a feeling like they're in this ball game. If you're the Mustangs, you want this to end as soon as it possibly can. You want to run up the score, and you want to get back in the buses safe and healthy. Giving them a chance and missing tackles on defense is not a way to do that.
Well, do you have your starting corners in, and Ngoe and Shockley? Barrett throwing deep, left side, double coverage, incomplete. Seth Glennon was over there on coverage on top, and Savion Shockley as well. Barrett misfires, and 3rd and 7's coming up.
Well, and I almost wonder if everyone in coverage there lost the football because that ball flew middle of the end zone. Had the wide receiver kept running, he was actually going to run by the Grapevine safety because both corner and safety had stopped moving. And I wonder if they lost the football maybe in the lights or something, but there was some sort of confusion on that play.
Twin receivers right, one left. Shotgun, Barrett slings it near side, incomplete at the 20. Right over the middle and paying the price across the middle. Big hit by Ivan Velasquez, the safety.
He got belted. That was shoulder pad directly to sternum there for the Chaparral wide receiver.
4th down, 6. The clock stopped, 2:42 to go until halftime. Wyatt's got 1 timeout left. Grapevine with all 3. Mustangs jumped out with a quick lead tonight. In fact, they scored the first 35 points.
It is the Council of Trent on the 34-yard line right now. There's 4 coaches and 6 extra players on the field right now.
Now they send out all the skill position players from that little huddle. Almost what seemed to be a timeout by Chris, kind of just talking to all his position players.
They're not going to get the snap off.
It's at 4, down to 3, at 2. Barrett, he gets it from the gun, looking to throw. He started to his right, comes back to his left, and incomplete. Great coverage by Savion Shockley.
Wow, that was, a full-on referendum on what the play call was going to be, and then they got set with maybe 3 seconds left. I guess they didn't have to burn a timeout, so I guess it worked.
Now the Mustangs have got it at their own 26, 2:36 to go until the half. Special thanks to Nick Bass and Greenleaf Roofing for their support of Mustangs football. Greenleaf Roofing is DFW's preferred roofing company and the official roofing company of Champion Sports Radio. Find out why they have a ton of lifelong customers for yourself and get a free quote by visiting grapevine-roofing.com. Reset the play clock here with 2:36. The official motions to the press box. And the Mustangs will set up near hash at the 26-yard line. Mercer is in the shotgun. De La Cruz is his running back to the right. Mustangs have got a tight end to the left of the formation. De La Cruz on the handoff. Straight up the middle past the 30 and knifes his way to the 34. He's got a solid gain of about 8.
That's what the Mustangs need to do, is just continue to hand the football off. They've had maybe 2 or 3 runs that didn't go for more than 4 or 5 yards at least. And so I think just to end the half, certainly just run the football and see if you can get into the end zone again.
2nd down and 2. Play action, Mercer, near side. Pass caught by Elijah Steele. Turns up the sideline to the 41, to the 42. Got the first down, moved the chains. First financial first down for Grapevine.
A good slant route there from Elijah Steele, who had a big game on Saturday against Lancaster. I believe that's his first catch here tonight.
1st and 10 from their own 42. Left to right. Mercer hands off De La Cruz. Stood up right at the line and pushed back at the 40-yard line. Well, he was met immediately in the hole by Steven Gallegos. It'll be a 2nd down and 12 now for Grapevine from their own 40 with 1:45 left to go until half. Mercer claps his hand. There's movement across the front line. Oops. The right tackle was moving on that play, and so it'll back Grapevine up 5 yards.
Sayo and thought he knew what the snap count was. Apparently didn't. And, that's going to happen with a backup unit. You've got some starters in there, some backup units. Just to be expected at this point.
2nd down, 20 for the Mustangs offense. Mercer to throw under just duress, and he's sacked back at the 22. Boy, he did not have much time, and the pocket collapsed in a hurry.
And everything downfield looked relatively covered as well. Odie Wyatt, for all the guys that they have playing 2 ways, seems to have found a little bit of a spark here down the stretch.
3rd down from their own 26. They've got to get to the Odie Wyatt 48. The scoreboard says 3rd and 17, and that is clearly incorrect. I'm not
Might be
great at math.
17 times 2.
It's closer to 20 plus.
Yeah. There it goes, 26.
There we go. And Mercer to throw. Little screen pass to the flat. Caught by Davis ahead of the 25, 30. Bottom of the numbers. Spins his way to the 35. And the clock will roll with 37 seconds left to go until halftime. 4th down. And Odie Wyatt going to call timeout. Zach Chris going to burn that last timeout. Try to give his offense one more crack at it. 32 seconds to go until the half. 35-8 Grapevine here on Champion Sports Radio.
Stay up on all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow at Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com. Sports and facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship social media.
4th down, 16 for the Mustangs. They'll punt this one away. First time tonight that Mustangs have punted. It's Garrett Johnson who will punt. High snap. Johnson gets away. A great kick. High, spiraling kick. It comes down at the 22. Gives that coverage unit time to get down there, and they whack him right at the 21. Push back. Boy, how about the hang time from Garrett Johnson on that punt?
The returner quite literally didn't know what to do. I don't know that he'd fielded a punt that was that deep and that high before, and he was caught in between wanting to return it, wanting to call for a fair catch. He kind of wiggled his hand there at one point, and in the end decided to take it and comes limping off the field.
So Odie Wyatt without any timeouts, 21 seconds to go until half. Be sure and stay with us at the half. Mitch Mason talks with Josh Dillard, the head freshman coach for the Grapevine Mustangs, on our Get to Know the Mustangs segment. We'll recap our first half scoring. Grapevine really got out to an early lead in the first quarter, up 29-0 before a couple of field goals. Here's a deep pass down the left sideline and incomplete. Grapevine had a 35-0 lead before Wyatt got on the board. And they were going for broke on that play.
They were. Grapevine needs to back their defense up. Shockley probably doesn't want to talk about it, but he got burned on that, and there was not safety help over the top. So you have a correctly thrown pass, an accurate pass from Cade Barrett, and Odie Wyatt absolutely could score again before this half ends.
And 16 seconds left to play in the second quarter. Shockley is in press coverage. I believe Miguel Naveau is the corner to the top side. Barrett to throw. Rolls left, now back to his right. Heaves it off his back foot to the Grapevine sideline. Incomplete. Clock stops. 9 seconds to go in here in the second quarter.
And the last thing you want if you're Odie Wyatt is to have to punt this football, attempt to punt. We talked about that earlier. Grapevine has nearly blocked at least two punts from Chaparrals. So Odie Wyatt might at least run something. They're not going to score at this point, so you might just run something in play and trust that Grapevine's not going to take a timeout. They do have all 3 left.
3rd down and 10 for the Chaps with 9 seconds to go. Barrett to throw, sets up a little middle screen to Ross, caught at the 20, 25, breaks a tackle, 30, 35, lowers his shoulders, and a booming hit at the 38, brought down, and that will bring us to the end of the first half. 35-8, Grapevine in command as we go to the break here from Clark Stadium in Fort Worth. Lots to come on the halftime report. Coming up after the break, we'll have a chance to sit down here from Josh Dillard, head freshman coach for the Grapevine Mustangs. We'll also take you through our scoring summary and look at scores around the area. That's all coming your way next on the Greenleaf Roofing Halftime Show on Champion Sports Radio.
Everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management. The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Living in North Texas provides all of us with an amazing quality of life, including Greenleaf Roofing has 24-hour emergency service available. It's nice to know Greenleaf Roofing will be there in a hurry if you need them. After the first experience, I became a customer for life and have used them on 3 different homes. But don't just take my word for it. Learn about the Greenleaf Roofing difference yourself by calling them at 972-379-9109 or go online to greenleaf-roofing.com to find out how you can get your free quote. Greenleaf Roofing, the #1 choice for all your roofing needs.
In Command Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. In Command Broadcasting provides a wide array of turnkey video production and streaming services. In Command services include filming of sporting events, season highlights, school graduations, corporate infomercials, and documentaries. In Command streams your sporting event or company function over the internet live or on demand. Call 972-851-7888 to raise the energy of your next event. In Command Broadcasting, 972-851-7888.
If you are hearing this message, it is because our Grapevine Mustangs are playing football. Watching and playing football is one of the many privileges we get to enjoy in this great nation. Our special thanks to the GHS athletic trainers and coaches for installing and maintaining protocols to keep our players and staff safe. Go Mustangs!
And welcome back to Clark Stadium in Fort Worth, where the Mustangs enjoy a 35-8 lead at the half over the Odie Wyatt Chaparrals. And let's take you through our first half scoring summary, tell you how we arrived at that 35-8 score. And for Grapevine, they wasted no time on their opening drive. It was an 18-yard touchdown pass from Max Cowgill to Parker Polk. For Polk, his 4th touchdown reception of the year. Mustangs went for 2. On a fake extra point and tip. Blake Dixon took it in, and just like that, it was 8-0 Grapevine. Odie Wyatt on their first possession, their very first play, Savion Shockley got an interception, And Mustangs got the football back for Shockley. He now has a team best 3 interceptions on the year. Then Grapevine quickly struck again offensively. 11-yard touchdown scamper from Caleb Tejada, his lone touchdown of the first half. And for Tejada, his 12th rushing touchdown of the season. That made it 15-0 after the extra point. O.D. Wyatt, 3 and out on their next drive, and that would be a theme, especially against this first-team defensive unit for Grapevine. Mustangs got the ball back. They got it at their own 43. Quick drive. It was capped off by a 17-yard touchdown pass. Max Cowgill to Griffin Edwards. It's great to see Edwards back in the lineup tonight. First action he's seen since week 5 when he missed the Fort Worth Poly game. He's been out for the last 4 weeks. He gets back tonight, gets his 6th touchdown reception of the year. And that after the extra point, it was 22-0 Grapevine. And then Cameron Wagner with an interception on the ensuing drive. Wagner's first interception and making his first career start tonight. Mustangs got the ball, and then back to the air. And Max Cowgill to Ben Gare, the 3rd different receiver that he found tonight through the air as they hit pay dirt. 13-yard touchdown pass for Gare, his 10th touchdown reception of the season. And for Cowgill now, 25 touchdowns and just 6 interceptions on the season. He's getting closer and closer to 2,000 yards on the season. After a 3 and out by O.D. Wyatt, it was Grapevine's drive that stalled out at the 29-yard line. So a 39-yard field goal attempt from the right hash was good from Braxton Russell, and that made it 32-0 Grapevine. And then a 3 and out for O.D. Wyatt. Grapevine in the second quarter now up 35-0. Another field goal attempt from Russell, this time from 38 yards out. And what a hole by Blake Dixon on the snap that was low and in the turf. Dixon got it on the tee, and Russell boomed it through to make it 38-0. And then we saw O.D. Wyatt go 3 and out, but then it was an interception by DeMarcus Anderson from O.D. Wyatt. And against that second-team defensive unit, a 15-yard touchdown pass for O.D. Wyatt got the Chaparrals on the board, and that's where we stand now at the half. 35-8 is our score. So we'll take a break. When we come back, Mitch Mason visits with head freshman coach Josh Dillard, talking with Josh about just the season that freshman squad had this year for the Grapevine Mustangs. That is on our Get to Know the Mustangs segment tonight. Coming your way next, right here on Champion Sports Radio.
Grapevine Mustangs win. It is what we do. Speaking of winners, Grapevine has had another winner since 1976, and that is Rick's Hardware. Rick's Hardware carries the best of the best when it comes to hardware and decorative plumbing. And they have an incredible showroom in Grapevine at 1200 Mentors Chapel Road, Suite 400. You can meet the friendly staff there or call them at 817-481-8807. If you have a kitchen or bath, you need to know about Rick's Hardware in Grapevine.
Hi, this is Doug Dunbar from CBS 11 News. We find ourselves in a situation today none of us ever imagined, but from day one we told you sharing information that helps you make decisions which make sense for your family has been our goal. That hasn't changed. Neither has working hard to find the bright spots, especially here in Texas. Uplifting stories make us all feel better. So thank you for trusting us with what you need to know and those stories that help our spirits grow. We're CBS 11 News, the ones for Texas.
Are you a member of the Grapevine Mustangs Booster Club? Do you know about the many things that the Booster Club does to support your team? Log on to ghsmustangs.com to learn more about how you can help and support your Grapevine Mustangs.
Whether you're trying to get over an auto accident or just want to get your lifestyle back, the outstanding team at Brown Chiropractic Center is dedicated to helping you reach your goals.
I firmly believe that when your body is aligned, it functions much better, just like a race car performs at top speed when it's properly aligned. When you need an adjustment, come to Brown Chiropractic Center.
Chiropractic treatment can be used to treat a wide variety of physical issues such as migraines and headaches, chronic pain, carpal tunnel, pain due to injury or muscle strain, and of course, back issues.
I know what it's like to get banged up playing sports. I was a Mustang linebacker and loved it most of the time. I had help healing my aching back from a chiropractor in high school. When you need help to get back on the field, make an appointment with Dr. Kelly Brown at Brown Chiropractic Center.
Brown Chiropractic Center, an official partner of Team 100.
I'm Dr. Brown. I played for the Mustangs in 1977, and I want to wish the players, coaches, and parents the best of luck.
Online at brown-chiropractic-center.com.
final district game here tonight. And right now it's time for the Get to Know the Mustangs segment. I've got the Grapevine Mustangs freshman coach Josh Dillard with us on the phone. Josh, thanks so much for spending part of the time with us.
Thanks for having me.
Josh, I've asked everyone this question, and I'm interested to hear how your story begins as the freshman coach of the Mustangs. What's your football journey to get here to Grapevine, and where did you fall in love with the game?
I fell in love with the game in high school. I played for some really great coaches, and that's kind of where my love for coaching kind of developed. I saw them have an impact in my life that kind of reinforced the values that my parents were teaching me. And I saw them be parents to those kids who didn't have a dad in the home or just needed that father figure. And that's what kind of motivated me to become a coach. I felt like I could have an impact on kids. As far as my journey to get to Grapevine, I started off my career while I was student teaching. I was a volunteer coach at Richardson High School. The next year they hired me on staff, and I was a corners coach for 2 years. And then I got a phone call from my defense coordinator when I was playing in high school. He was looking for a guy to go down and be his defense coordinator for him. And so I ended up going down there to Salado, Texas, just south of Temple, and was defense coordinator there for 2 years. And then needed a change of scenery. And then I knew the coach at Grapevine, the head coach at the time. And then I got hired on to coach corners. I coached corners for 2 years, and then flipped over to offense for 2 years. And then now I'm assistant D-line coach. So that was kind of my journey to Grapevine High School.
Uh-huh. And what was that transition like? It sounds like you've been a defensive guy your entire life, and then you flipped over to the offense. What was that transition like?
So that was it was different, kind of knowing defense and what defensive fronts and back end are doing. That kind of made it easy to transition over to running backs. That was also the year that they moved me to the head freshman football coach, and it really opened my eyes to a different perspective on how to manage a game from both the offense and the defensive side. As far as, wanting to go score real quick, but also knowing, hey, all right, I know the defense needs some time, so let's slow it down just a little bit. But it really did open my eyes on how to manage a game, being able to be on the other side of the ball.
Sure. Well, that brings me to the next question. As the head freshman football coach, coaching just one class of kids, what's that been like, and what are some of the unique aspects of that job as opposed to, being a corners coach and having potentially 4 classes of kids to work with?
So let me start off by saying that the biggest thing that I really enjoy coaching about our freshmen is that I get to know every freshman player, not just one position. So I get to work with the offensive line, the defensive line. I get to know the linebackers. I get to know the receivers and DBs and quarterbacks. I get to know everybody. The unique perspective of coaching freshmen is more of we're getting kids from all these different middle schools and trying to get them to buy into what we are teaching and our core values, and try to make them understand that you're not a pony or a colt or a wolf. You're now a Mustang. We're all Mustangs. We're brothers. We're family. And that's kind of the thing that is unique to coaching freshmen as opposed to the JV and varsity. You're really trying to bring a group that hasn't played together to work together as a team.
Well, you're here in Grapevine now, and it sounds like you are doing a fantastic job with the freshmen from all accounts. Y'all are having some success for sure. What's it been like for your family transitioning from these different stops and now getting to see you settle down here in Grapevine for the last couple of years and thrive, really?
I'm fortunate. My wife has always been able to let me kind of chase my dreams and my aspirations. And so there's never been a tie down to a specific place. So it's really kind of freed me up to kind of move around a little bit. And, no place that I've been has really kind of felt like home until I got to Grapevine. And just the community here, the support from administration, our staff is great. Our kids are great. There's so many great things about Grapevine High School and Grapevine in general that we really just love here.
Oh, and that brings me kind of to the last question. You love so many things about Grapevine, and we've heard that from so many guests that we've had over the halftime show for not just this season, but last year as well. If you had to pinpoint kind of one thing that makes Grapevine feel like home, what would it be?
I think it's just the community support and how involved the community is in Grapevine High School. You kind of get that small town feel in a big city type of place. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody's supporting you. Everybody knows you. They want to see you be successful. They know your kids. They know your family. I think that's the thing that makes us feel like home is everybody knows everybody, and everybody wants to be successful, and everybody's got your back. There's so much support here. I think that's what makes Grapevine unique.
Well, I'll say it before, I'll say it again. Anytime I describe Grapevine, it's exactly how you just did. Obviously, you and I have never met, but the small town feel with the amenities of a big time city, I feel like that's just the scripting that anyone in Grapevine gets, and we all say it. And I love to hear it from you, from multiple other people, that it just kind of flows freely out of us. That's exactly how we would describe Grapevine, and that's why I think it's the perfect community. And plus, hey, it's the Christmas capital of Texas. We got that coming up at the end of the month as well. Coach Josh, I appreciate the time. Really did enjoy the interview, and best of luck the rest of the way, obviously, with the rest of this game, the playoffs, and your future in coaching.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
There he goes, Josh Dillard, the freshman head coach of your Grapevine Mustangs. When we come back, much more on the halftime show. It's the Grapevine season finale against Wyatt right here on Champion Sports Radio.
Stay up on all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow @Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and you will know what time your game starts. Who was named Player of the Week?
God and you matter to us. We invite you to experience a place where you can connect with God, others, and your purpose. Learn more about Compass at compass.church. That's compass.church.
In Command Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. Or company function over the internet, live or on demand. In Command Broadcasting, 972-851-7888.
Are you tired of only spending time as a family huddled around the TV? Would you like to enjoy some culture with your loved ones without breaking the bank? Then let me introduce you to the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra. The GDYO provides music education and performance opportunities for musically talented youth, but this is no kids' concert. The GDYO comprises 7 different ensembles made up of over 425 talented musicians ages 8 to 18, representing more than 50 communities in North Texas. You won't believe how amazing these ensembles sound until you hear it for yourself. So join them for one of their concerts at the Meyerson Symphony Center or Dallas City Performance Hall. For more information on how to make a donation, as well as a listing of upcoming GDYO concerts, visit gdyo.org. And if you know a talented young musician interested in an unbelievable experience, auditions take place in the spring. Connect with the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and at gdyo.org.
Did you know there's a cutting-edge cold therapy right here in Grapevine? It's CryoNation, and we talked to owner Josh Brown.
A cryo treatment will help your aches and pains. It's the modern day version of an ice bath.
And that ice bath does some pretty cool things for your body.
Our cryotherapy chambers rapidly cool the body, accelerating muscle recovery, burning up to 1,000 calories, and activating anti-aging skin rejuvenation. It's an ice bath for the 21st century.
Josh, how does it work?
Cryogenically cooled air reduces inflammation and stimulates collagen production. This reduces inflammation, which accelerates injury recovery. Collagen helps reduce the signs of aging and cellulite.
Check out the secrets of CryoNation at cryo-nation.com.
Second half action from Clark Stadium in Fort Worth, where the Mustangs have a 35-8 lead. And Braxton Russell will kick it off from left to right from the 40-yard line. The right-footed senior kicker approaches and drives this one end over end. It'll come down just inside the 10, take a high bounce at the 5. Right down there, running to his left, and then spun around at the 8-yard line. Great coverage by Grapevine to get down there and bury O.D. Wyatt inside their own 10. At the 9-yard line is where O.D. Wyatt will have it first down and 10 to start their first drive here in the third quarter. Well, we saw Grapevine's first team offensive and defensive units pulled really early on in the second quarter. And in fact, I think we'll see a good number, or rather the majority, of the second team defensive unit. I think Christian Watson may be the only one of that front 3 that is on the first team unit. Watson is at the nose guard. On a first down and 10, the handoff running right. Hilburn finds a little bit of tough sledding ahead to the 15-16 yard line, pick up a close to 6.
And the impact of pulling those starters so early is you allowed O.D. Wyatt to hang around a little bit. I mean, this is not a game, a real contest. It is 35-8, but you don't allow maybe as many points as you could have scored to get on the board, and well, you got to take this second half rather seriously if you're the Mustangs.
Tamadre Ross bounces outside to the right. He's short of the sticks by a couple of yards, and it's going to leave O.D. Wyatt a third down and about, looks like from the chains, maybe a yard and a half here.
Are we going to get a measurement here?
Oh, yeah. Well, Grapevine's defensive unit had a 3 3-and-outs in the first half, and they'd love to get one right here. It is about close to 2 yards here. Opening drive for the Chaparrals in the third quarter. Mustangs going to shift their defensive front. They walk an outside linebacker down, inside handoff, right into that defensive front line to the 20. Got the first down just beyond the 20, enough to move the chains.
Yeah, if there was ever a game to just eyeball it and call it a first down, I think this is it.
Well, that was, and they moved the sticks. First down for the Chaparrals. It took them all of the first quarter, a good part of the second quarter before they got their first down of the night. Well, the second team defensive unit, you can tell the emphasis tonight from Mike Alexander is let's get out of here healthy. Let's get some of these guys that are on the second team and some of the young kids an opportunity to get some snaps tonight. Grapevine brings the blitz and the handoff, running left. Now cuts back inside. Ross is to the 25.
There's some interesting shifts being allowed by the officiating crew tonight. Wide receivers run onto the field late. Running backs kind of play ring around the rosy around their quarterback. I'm not sure if they're all legal or not.
Well, they got a 2nd down and 5 coming up. Opening drive of the third quarter, 35-8 Grapevine. Press coverage by the corners with receivers split each side. Barrett to throw. Heaves this one deep down the left side. Pass caught at the 40. Up to the 35-yard line. That with 2 defenders in the area. And the pass hauled in all the way down to the 36.
No one turned around for the Mustangs. They were playing as if that ball was being thrown towards the sideline. And in fact, I think Barrett meant to throw it towards the sideline, but it didn't quite make it. It ended up being on the far side of the numbers. And the receiver just worked his way back to the ball. Both Mustangs were looking at him and not at the incoming ball.
I believe it was Ashton Moore who made that catch, and now they're just all sorts of shuffling going on and confusion for O.D. Wyatt. They brought a lineman off. They brought a receiver on, and they've got trips to the short side. They've got 2 seconds to get this play off. Play clock down to 0, delay a game. Boy, that was ugly.
I think they called a false start. Look, if you're calling a false start based on what was going on there, good luck figuring out who's starting early with all the movement that the Chaparrals are throwing in. They're not even getting set until 2-3 seconds before they need to snap the ball.
We've got the personnel that they want on there now as they come over to the sideline to talk with head coach Zach Chris. Grapevine, in the meantime, had to sprint their entire defensive unit on the field. They weren't lined up. 1st and 15. Barrett throws an interception at the 40-yard line. Pass picked off and up the sideline to the 45. That's Cameron Wagner. I think that's Cameron's 2nd interception of the night.
That was a tidal wave of white jerseys that ran on the field. They were late getting on. I think Grapevine thought O.D. Wyatt took a timeout, and the Chaparrals kind of ran hurry up. I'm not really sure if Barrett was trying to throw that to someone or if he was trying to throw it away. If he was trying to throw it away, he threw it back into the field.
Well, we think Wagner had an interception earlier tonight. It was kind of hard to tell. It was across the field. We are very, very far removed away from the field here at Clark Stadium. But if it was Wagner on the first interception, he's got his 2nd of the night. Here's De La Cruz with a bulldozing run. Past midfield up to the 48-yard line is where he ends up.
And I apologize to anyone listening that is not approving of the chuckling going on, but it is truly a comical scene. If you're not watching this on the stream, it is hard to accurately describe some of these scenes. I mean, all 11 Mustangs were still moving when that ball was snapped.
2nd down and 4. Mercer's pass far side's caught at first 10 yards of the 40.
Good throw.
And then swarmed under right there, forward progress. That's a long throw by Mercer to get to the 40. First down, first financial first down for the Mustang offense. I believe Blake Dixon on the reception.
And a good job by Colt, too. This is the first time we've seen him really look comfortable in the pocket. He was able to rock off his back foot and step through the throw, and his most accurate delivery of the ball so far.
On a first down, here's the handoff, inside give, now running left to the 33-yard line of O.D. Wyatt. That's De La Cruz, kind of gets up limp a little bit. Tough running by the young sophomore. 2nd down and 3. And you watch De La Cruz, he kind of reminds you a little bit just in terms of his aggressiveness and being a sophomore. Here they come on a 2nd down and 3. Quick pass, Dixon makes the catch far side up the sideline to the 25. He reminds you a little bit of a guy like Parker Polk who stepped in last year in the playoffs. Now different positions, but and De La Cruz maybe just a little bit bigger, but a guy that you might see get a little action. Possibly, you can tell he's got a good skill set.
Sure, yeah. It's the perk of the sub-varsity teams ending their regular season is everyone's available.
There's De La Cruz, handoff, slips a tackle, gets to a gain of a couple as he was met immediately in the backfield. He gets to the 28. 7:30 and counting in the third quarter, 35-8 Mustangs.
You know, it's always funny seeing the sizes of the rosters on the sidelines come playoff time. There's upwards of 100 bodies on some sideline.
2nd down, 8. Play action. Mercer going for it all. Got Novoa down there. Makes the catch in the end zone. That's a Mustangs touchdown. Miguel Novoa, for the 6th time this year, hauls one in for a touchdown as Colt Mercer connects. 41-8 Mustangs with 7:08 to go in the third.
A good throw by Mercer. He had all the time in the world. He found his man wide open, and a good catch by Novoa, who ended up backpedaling a little bit, took a shot right as he made the catch, secured it all the way to the ground. No Dez caught it drama there for the Mustangs as someone is sprinting onto the field for the extra point attempt.
Yeah, they were missing what looked to be the right tackle, far side. Here's the left-footed kicker, J.D. Rice, for the extra point. Good snap and hold. Rice's kick. He remains perfect. 42-8 Mustangs. 7:08 left to go in the third quarter from Clark Stadium. This is Grapevine football on Champion Sports Radio.
If you need a family dentist, you need to know Dr. Steve Parker at DFW Smiles and Grapevine. Steve gladly offers a complimentary second opinion. So if you get hit with dental sticker shock from a corporate dentist, go see Steve. Plus, he's a big supporter of Mustang football.
I'm Dr. Steve Parker. I hope you're enjoying the Mustangs game. Come see us at DFW Smiles and go Mustangs.
Go to dfwsmiles.com or call 817-281-3444.
26 yards, a touchdown pass from Colt Mercer to Miguel Novoa, the 6th touchdown reception of the year for Novoa. And the score 42-8 here with 7:08 left to go on a very chilly evening. The Mustangs all over the Chaparrals of O.D. Wyatt.
4 touchdown passes tonight for Grapevine. 3 from Max Cowgill, the starter. 1 from Mercer. And you've seen a different receiver on all the touchdown passes tonight. Polk, Gare, Novoa, and Edwards. Everybody getting into the act on a 42-8 lead over O.D. Wyatt. Mustangs in search of their 8th win of the season as Russell kicks this one. Fairly short, fielded at the 10. Far sideline at the top of the numbers. 15. Scampers ahead of the 20, lowers his shoulders, and rumbles his way up to about the 22-yard line is where O.D. Wyatt will start this drive. Well, thanks to Steve Swanson at Whirly Ball for sponsoring tonight's broadcast. Corporate events, team building, and private parties are always more fun when you're zipping around in a Whirly Bug, and they have the most affordable laser tag in town. 2 locations to serve you in Plano and Hearst. Visit them online at whirlyball.info for more information. At their own 22-yard line, right at 7 minutes left to go in the third quarter, 42-8 Grapevine. From the shotgun, Barrett throws. Near side, pass caught on a little screen, and slipping his way past a couple of tacklers up to the 25 to the 28-yard line goes the receiver, and we'll wait till he gets up to tell you. We'll make our best educated guess as to who it is.
Oh, good luck.
It's that blob of a number
yeah,
again. It's number, well, it looks like a 2, and there's not a 2 on the roster. And we know it's not Tamadre Ross, number 3. My best guess would be number 8, Wes Madkins.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next attempt at it. Was 8.
There's trips to the short side of the formation. The handoff, Ross just looking for any kind of room. There's nowhere to go. He's engulfed at the 30-yard line. Taken down maybe a yard, possibly. He was brought to the turf by Tyler Mears.
So I asked you earlier what the difference between Columbia blue and baby blue was. Number 10, Kim Ware, is wearing another blue as an undershirt. What color blue would you call that?
You got to point that out to me. Number 1, I'm impressed that you can see the number 10 down there. Here's the handoff to Hilldale. Past the 30 to the 35, up to the 37.
That's what they pay me the big bucks to do.
Right. Number 10. You're going to have to point him out.
He's walking to the near side. He's got the undershirt kind of flowing out.
Yes.
What color blue is that? Last time we were here together, we debated orange colors, whether it was Pistol Pete orange, if it was burnt orange. We've just moved to a different color now.
If there was a fuchsia type blue, that would be it. If you can imagine, the hot fuchsia.
Yeah, kind of an electric blue.
There you go, electric blue. Here's a quick pass caught by maybe number 10 up to the 42. Yeah. Blasted there by Tyler Mears.
You didn't think I went to A&M for interior design, but maybe I did.
Right. You may have quite a few fellow Aggies here tonight. You're in halftime. A number of, in fact, homecoming here tonight, O.D. Wyatt. Remember the seniors that were honored?
Mm-hmm.
Sound like we got quite a few that are headed to Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
2nd down and 4 for the Chaparrals. Barrett has trouble handling the snap. Now a busted play. He's going to take it and run. Lowers his shoulders, booms his way to midfield. Hard to believe that he is a freshman, 6'1", 210.
And I think it looks like he's wearing a sweatshirt under his jersey, so he may not be actually as bulky as he looks, but I tell you what, from up here, he's sizable.
It's 4:17 to go in the third, 42-8 Grapevine. He kind of got a back flap there on his. Well, you see a lot of quarterbacks wear the rib protectors.
Right.
I don't think that's it.
Flak jacket.
I think he's just got a big back or a pad there on his back. It's here, down the sideline goes Hilldale. Hilldale's on a little screen pass up to the 38, and then he's shoved down. Mustangs are going to be lucky if they don't get a personal foul here.
Well, the coaching staff wants it. Barrett, to his credit, he's listed as 210, so he hadn't missed many meals.
Well, you look at this O.D. Wyatt roster, as we talk about Barrett, the number of underclassmen on this roster is significant. So I don't know if that means for Zach Chris, I know they've endured what's going to be a 1-9 season with their only win being a forfeit, but maybe there is a glimmer of hope with some young talent coming up. There's a 1st down and 10 at their own 35. Quick pass, zip near side. Up to the 33 goes Nakeem Ware, I believe number 10 on that catch, and we can tell you that is Ware.
There's the number 10. See, we got it for sure. We got one. We got Barrett, and we got number 10. Those are the two guys on offense. We know who they are.
We're talking about underclassmen. 14 underclassmen on that roster that are freshmen or sophomores.
Wow.
Boy, that is a lot at the varsity level.
Yeah.
I've heard that the adage that coaches talk about, for every sophomore that you start, particularly on the defensive side, you're going to lose a ball game. And here's a handoff, just upended immediately. Taken down. Caden Steffen got in there. Well, that's a great looking play by Steffen. 5'10", 215-pound seniors made the transition from a running back to a nose guard, and he was in there as soon as the ball was handed off.
Yeah, he almost beat the handoff itself and took the legs right out from under Tamondre Ross. Good tackle. 3rd and 13. Mustangs
walk up 3 linebackers. They're bringing the house on a blitz. Barrett throws off his back foot. Intercepted at the 15. Coming near side, 25, 30 up the sideline with a block to the 40-yard line and then run out of bounds. Interception made by, I believe, Keegan Courtney. That's hard to believe. You got a first-team defender out there. But Courtney, in fact, it looks like they've kept quite a few of the first team in the secondary out there. And Courtney, with his 3rd interception, is now tied with Savion Shockley for the team lead in picks.
He had a chop block called on the Mustangs, so it'll march the starting field position back. But right, that's what, the 4th interception for the Mustangs?
Yeah, that's right. 4 interceptions tonight. Woo. Mustangs now with 19 forced turnovers on the year.
And, I will say, you mentioned the starting secondary seemingly back in the game. With as much as O.D. Wyatt is throwing the ball tonight, why not mix the starters back in, get them some more live ball reps? The confidence that you're going to get from intercepting a pass is going to carry over into next week, and I think it's a smart decision by Mike Alexander and company.
Cole Mercer, the sophomore back at quarterback. Swing pass, Parker Polk, lots of room, 35, 40, down the sideline. There he goes.
Oh.
Nobody is going to lay a hand on Polk. He'll win that foot race. Down to the 10, 5, and into the end zone.
There's a flag.
Oh, there is a flag back at the 47. They're probably going to bring this one back. Boy, Polk
That's a shame.
had a great block on that far sideline, then burst into the clear, but that's going to be all for naught. It will come back. We'll check the call, more than likely some kind of hold, and it is.
Yeah, I didn't see it exactly where it happened, but I saw the flag come out. And anytime there's that much open space on a football field and there's some yellow laundry, you can probably bet that it's going to be a hold. Didn't call the number of the Mustang who committed the infraction, but unfortunate for Parker Polk. He's had a couple of those called back this year due to holds. That's not the first time that's happened.
Polk came in tonight, 500 yards receiving in his career. Now, he's only a sophomore. Came up and played varsity last year towards the very end of the regular season and into the playoffs. Here's a first down for Mercer. Going back to the air. Will come back right on the far sideline and incomplete. Go back to that point talking about starting sophomores. And you hear that the coaches talk about for every sophomore you start on the defensive side, you're going to lose a ball game. And you think about last year, the secondary for Grapevine was all sophomores, particularly at the safety position. And on a 2nd and 10, Mercer gives to Davis. Davis chewing up yardage to the 43 on a gain of 4. It kind of held the form last year, but you look at how that's paying off for this Grapevine defense. That secondary just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, when you played in the district that the Mustangs did last year with, objectively tougher competition, and you're playing the Denton Ryans of the world, those sophomores are going to get exposed a little bit.
There's a timeout called before they got that play off. 1:45 to go in the third quarter.
But you're right. Excuse me, Reagan. They have looked much like the offensive line has this year. You had some young players on that line last year that have taken another year of experience under their belt, and they've looked like a different football team this year. In the secondary on the offensive line, those sophomores have stepped up, and you have your coverage breaks from time to time, but the number of interceptions that this team has this year, the number of big pivotal plays like the cornerback blitzes that they've been able to pull off, it is truly remarkable to see what this Mustangs team has done. And credit to Tanner Antill and Bobby Holland, the guys that are coaching those position groups and dialing up those play calls. They have certainly taken a big step forward this season, which is what good programs do.
Hey, you look at the 3 guys that played last year as sophomores: Jackson Yarbrough, Keegan Courtney, Dylan Hohenberger. And they've just continued to make strides. That secondary has become a strength of this team. And that entire secondary, all juniors this year. Mustangs out of that timeout now on a 3rd down and 6 with 1:45 left to go in the third, up 42-8 over O.D. Wyatt. Shotgun snap. Mercer's going to throw. Under pressure. Slides to his left. Rolls, buys time. Now going to take it and run. Eludes one tackle at the 45. Scampers ahead. He may be close to the first down.
I think they're going to give it to him.
A pretty generous spot at the 47.
It is. The far official is past the 47. The near official, they're going to give it to him.
That's right. And what's funny is the near official.
No measurement needed.
The near official actually was spotted. He had it back a little further, and then where he saw that line judge on the far side where he had it, he's the one that goes ahead and motions for the first down.
I think everyone's cold, Reagan.
Right? We're cold.
We are cold.
Feet are freezing up here. First down and 10. Handoff. Big hole. Davis to the 45. Dives past the 40 as he's tripped up an ankle tackle at the 38. A first financial first down for the Mustangs. Moves the chains as we get inside a minute.
Nice cut back there, too, by Davis, who might have taken a shot up in the ribs. He's kind of holding his left, maybe bottom of the ribs there.
From the 37 of O.D. Wyatt, Davis, handoff, swallowed up in the backfield. Davis drags a tackler to the 34, and that might be the final play of the third quarter. 42-8 Grapevine. And they've got the ball at the O.D. Wyatt 34-yard line.
It's funny, too, to see, Davis is chewing up yardage, but the difference between a guy like Caleb Tejada, who is truly an artist at the running back position, and guys that are being given the football for the Mustangs, it really you're seeing positive things out of any ball carrier that is getting it for the Mustangs, but it really makes you appreciate the craft with which Tejada slips in and out of tackles. It really reminds you that the Mustangs have one of the best in the entire state of Texas.
That was the final play of the third quarter. We are headed to the fourth, 42-8, Grapevine, as we head to the final stanza here at Clark Stadium in Fort Worth on Champion Sports Radio.
Living in North Texas provides all of us with an amazing quality of life, including an affordable cost of living, outstanding schools, unbelievable cultural opportunities, and the best sports around. But we also have to put up with severe storms. Hi folks, Champion Sports Radio President and Founder Thomas Lee here to tell you when a hail or windstorm comes through your neighborhood, do what we did and call Greenleaf Roofing. Greenleaf Roofing is a fully insured, locally owned and operated company built on the values of amazing craftsmanship, affordable options, and innovative solutions. And they are proud that those values still stand as a foundation for their business today. And did I mention Greenleaf Roofing has 24-hour emergency service available? It's nice to know Greenleaf Roofing will be there in a hurry if you need them. After the first experience, I became a customer for life and have used them on 3 different homes. But don't just take my word for it. Learn about the Greenleaf Roofing difference yourself by calling them at 972-379-9109 or go online to greenleaf-roofing.com to find out how you can get your free quote. Greenleaf Roofing, the #1 choice for all your roofing needs.
Make her way to the fourth quarter. Mustangs now go right to left. Put a man in motion. There's trips to the wide side right with the ball in the near hash of the 34 of O.D. Wyatt. Mercer. Little screen pass out to Polk. Breaks one tackle. 30 up to the 27. Ball's loose on the turf. Now a scramble for the football. I believe Grapevine not only got on the football, but they may have a first down. They're very close after that fumble.
That's the way they drew it up, right? Polk got popped.
And he took a shot. Parker, so tough. He always pops right back up. He's 5'6", $165.
Dripping wet.
And 1st and 10 at the 27 of the Chaparrals. De La Cruz. Now it's Mercer on a zone read. Running left, 25-20. Tracked down from behind. He's down to the 20-yard line. On a pickup of 8, now there's a little now there's going to be a flag comes in at the 10-yard line. A couple of guys getting into it. Grapevine and O.D. Wyatt around the 10-yard line. Probably more likely offsetting.
Yeah, Lincoln Lawler for the Mustangs and a blob of a number for O.D. Wyatt. I would imagine it was certainly the Chaparral that kind of took it from a small flame to a fire, but wouldn't be surprised to see both parties indicted here. Oh, yeah, there it goes. So offsetting.
Yeah, De La Cruz comes limping out as well. So Addison Davis will check in for the sophomore at running back. 2nd down and 3 coming up with 11:16 left to go in the fourth quarter. 42-8 Grapevine. Score could be a whole lot worse. Mustangs took out their first team tonight really early in the second quarter.
I mean, like 2 or 3 minutes into the second quarter. I think they subbed everyone in with about 10 minutes left.
But definitely a positive with that decision for Mike Alexander tonight on 2 fronts. 1, you keep those starters healthy, and 2, get a whole bunch of guys quite a bit of playing time tonight. Here's a handoff to Davis. Runs left, chewed up at the 21, lost a yard.
Someone for O.D. Wyatt got a little bit of a head start there and didn't get the flag. I'm lucky that the Mustang didn't get belted in the backfield there.
3rd and 4 for the Mustangs. 10:40 and rolling. Mercer stands in the shotgun. He's got an H-back set to the left of the formation. Davis, the running back. Play action. Mercer rolls right. Now takes it and runs. 20, 15. Bounces outside. Stiff arm of the 10. Run out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Nice wheels by Mercer.
A great decision there by Colt. Good play design, first of all, is O.D. Wyatt completely bid on that run fake, but then the awareness to not force a pass. He had 2 receivers, Edwards and I believe Polk, that was running to the far corner, but to just pull it down, get the first down, and continue the drive. Great decision there by the sophomore.
1st and 10. Here's the handoff to DeBray. He's off to the right side to about the 6-yard line. That's one of the first times we called DeBray's name really since he was the main running back when Caleb Tejada was out.
Yeah, it's been a while since DeBray has been a big factor in the offense. Nice to call his name and number again.
He really filled in nicely for Caleb Tejada when Caleb was out with an injury. He had 70 yards and a touchdown on 11 carries against Byron Nelson, really the last time that he was at the tailback position. He's to the left of Mercer on a 2nd and goal from the 7. Mercer's going to throw a little back shoulder fake, caught, a little out route, touchdown on the far side, hauled in. Elijah Steele made that reception, and I believe the 5th different Mustang tonight with a touchdown reception.
Yeah, just getting everybody involved and padding the stats for everyone in a Mustang jersey. Really nice route run there by Steele. He faked extremely hard to the inside, got the safety and the corner to pull back and guard the middle of the field, and there's probably 5 yards of cushion there by the boundary.
So now at 54-8 Mustangs. Extra point coming from J.D. Rice out of the hole to Blake Dixon. And Rice knocks it through. The Mustangs extend that lead now to 55-8, 9:20 to go in the 4th quarter from Clark Stadium. This is Mustangs football on Champion Sports Radio.
Grapevine Mustangs win. It is what we do. Speaking of winners, Grapevine has had another winner since 1976, and that is Rick's Hardware. Rick's Hardware carries the best of the best when it comes to hardware and decorative plumbing. And they have an incredible showroom in Grapevine at 1200 Mentors Chapel Road, Suite 400. You can meet the friendly staff there or call them at 817-481-8807. If you have a kitchen or bath, you need to know about Rick's Hardware in Grapevine.
A 7-yard touchdown pass from Colt Mercer to Elijah Steele makes it 49-8 for the Mustangs. And at this point, the buses are being warmed up. They're circling the parking lot right now as Braxton Russell gets ready to kick off. 49-8, 9:20 left to go in the football game.
This kickoff comes down at the 10-yard line. Taken there near side, running to the 20, 25, run out of bounds at the 28-yard line. That's where O.D. Wyatt will have it, first down and 10. And it's getting a little chippy down there between these two teams. One thing Mike Alexander talked about tonight is he did not want to see any of that from his team. This is an O.D. Wyatt squad that has nothing to lose. Their season's done and wants to make sure his guys play a clean game tonight. Got 9:13 left to do that.
On a positive note, I have confirmed the blob number is number 8, Quest Madkins.
Hey, there we go.
So it's been a developing story all night long, and we finally...
It's the only thing that was really in doubt tonight as it passes into the turf. The game was not in doubt about 2 minutes in, as Mustangs had about a 22-point lead in the blink of an eye.
Man, you're not kidding. I mean, within a matter of seconds, it was a multiple score lead for Grapevine, and that gives you a lot of hope, a lot of encouragement going forward into the postseason that, look, it doesn't take much at all. This offense can score from anywhere.
From their own 28, Barrett's going to keep it, runs around the corner to the right, knocked out of bounds. Near sideline, mark him out at the 31. The Mustangs will get ready for Abilene Wiley in the playoffs. And for those who keep up with Texas high school football, that is an Abilene Wiley team that did make the jump from Class 4A to 5A a couple years back, and they've hit a bump in the road the last 2 years. But prior to the 2018 season, they had rattled off 24 consecutive trips to the playoffs under Hugh Sandifer, who is a coaching legend in the state of Texas. Inside handoff, and Tamari Ross is close to the first down. In fact, he may have it at the 38. Sanford took over that program back in 1986, won state title in 2004.
He's been there for a little bit, is what you're telling me.
Oh, he is. He's a legend in Abilene. But that is who Grapevine will catch first round next Friday night, 7 o'clock kick at Mustang Panther Stadium.
Well, that's going to be nice, too, to have the first round at Mustang Panther Stadium, the friendly confines, and obviously a team that's operating on all cylinders as O.D. Wyatt burns another timeout.
We'll take it with them. 7:50 to go in the fourth. 49-8 Mustangs. This is Grapevine football on Champion Sports Radio.
We all have more trust in people connected to our community. Every year, Dr. Steve Parker raises money for community projects like Smiles for Life, Hope Farms, and Our Father's Children. Steve has donated hundreds of custom-fitted mouthguards to Grapevine football.
When you need a dentist, come to DFW Smiles. I'm Dr. Steve Parker. We'll take good care of you and your family.
Go to dfwsmiles.com or call 817-281-3444.
Out of the timeout, 1st and 10 for O.D. Wyatt, left to right from their own 38-yard line. Three-man defensive front for Grapevine with 7:50 to go in the fourth. Barrett to throw, slings it in the flat. It's caught by Hilldale. The 40, tripped up at the 47. Taken down by Cameron Wagner. It's Cameron over on the play, but it was a gain of about 9 on that first down.
Well, we've gotten some of the secondary guys for the Mustangs mixed up as well. Everyone looks borderline the same. Half the guys are wearing the same white long sleeve shirts, and a couple of these backup guys are the same height and weight.
It's a difficult night for the broadcast crew, no doubt about it. You're really removed from the action here in this press box, so far away from the field. Here's a handoff. Ross whacked at the 49. They're going to give him forward progress to the first down. Well, it looked like he got hit almost at the line of scrimmage, and they marked that first down a yard ahead of where he had to get to.
Clock continues to roll, however.
At 6:48 and counting.
You know, as far as we are away from the field, I don't think we have a place to complain. Brad and Babe call the Cowboys from a different zip code.
There's a pass caught near side up to the 45. Pickup of about 6.
They have a nicely sized jumbotron to help them out, though.
Been fortunate to do a few playoff games there at AT&T, and really that's what you have to do. Especially as the ball gets down the opposite end. Unless it's coming to you, you really have to call that game off the big screen. Here's a handoff, running right. Bruising run by Hilldale. He's got the first down at the 35. Hillburn up to the 34 is where he gets to.
Hey, you and Craigway both calling high school football off the jumbotron. Just as a fan watching the game, it's hard not to just catch yourself watching it on TV.
You know, we had a chance to do a game at Globe Life Field. Park Field.
I knew you were going to mess that
up. There was no. It's still the ballpark to me.
Exactly. That's what I call it too. Is the ballpark.
I still can't. I still have a hard time just even calling it Globe Life.
Yeah.
When we were there, first game of the season against Colligal Heritage, we really had to call a lot of that, especially as it went away from you off the big screen. Now it was much different than what you have at AT&T. Even off that big screen was difficult at times.
Yeah. You talk about being far away from the action. That right field end zone. I mean, we needed binoculars.
Second down and 10 for O.D. Wyatt. Barrett, zone read, keeps it, run right on the design quarterback keeper. He's spilled at the 20 or the 31 is where they mark him down. Inside 5.5 to go. We may look at the score tomorrow and go, well, it wasn't all that bad, 49-8. It could have been a whole lot worse.
The Dogs were called off extremely early.
It's funny, in this day and age of offenses, 49-8 really does not. I mean, it's a game that was in complete control, but I mean, you see some of these scores now in the 70s and 80s.
Well, looking at Lancaster's scores in preparation for that game on Saturday, I mean, 84-0, and that happened twice.
Hilburn's taken down back at the 32. You know, with the birth of the spread offense and just the air raids and the high flying, and really how defenses are limited. So the game has changed so much, and probably for the best with all the rule changes to protect players. Here's a fourth down, little screen pass, and that's going to go nowhere. Taken down to 30. Mustangs are going to get the football here with 4:25 left to play. But it really has changed, and there's just so much more score in the game now.
It's two sides of the coin. You could say that the good defense still wins championships, but the offense has to be able to score, because nowadays a good defense is holding an opponent to 20, 21, 24 points, and that's a good defense.
And when the best defensive mind in the game, and Nick Saban, who said recently that, the game has changed now. It's offenses that win that win championships.
It wasn't that long ago. I mean, 2012, 2013, Alabama was still running everything out of the I formation.
Yeah.
And winning national championships. Now you've got Mac Jones throwing for 500 yards.
Hand off up to the 37. You just wonder, will it ever, here we get 4:10 to go in the ballgame, will it come back full circle? I don't know. I don't know that it will.
Everything comes and goes with time, but it's, some of those things that just become fundamental to the game, and you really would be hard pressed to find a school of thought that said, no, you know what, running the ball, the power I, the wing T, these run-based offenses, that's how you win football games.
DeBray gets the first down up to the 44. You think back to the football, I remember growing up in the 80s, and it was the wishbone, the power run game, 3 backs under the center, and it was 3 yards in a cloud of dust. And here's a handoff, big hole for DeBray. He's into O.D. Wyatt territory and more. Past the 40, 35, 30. Great run by DeBray as he finishes the run with some aggressive running up to the 30-yard line before DeMarcus Anderson brought it down.
Thinking back to those days in the 90s as well, offenses, you were a great offense if you averaged 3.5 yards a play.
Yeah.
That was all you needed to get the first down, 3.5, 4 yards a play, and you were going to be ahead of the chains every single time. And now that is just a thing of the past.
DeBray running again. He's up to the 25, down to the 23 as we get to 2:45 to play.
You think about it, offenses, not individual players, but offenses used to average 4 yards a play, and that was great. Nowadays, you look at some of the best running backs across the FBS level, and you've got guys averaging 6-7 yards a carry.
Yeah. Second down and 3 for the Mustangs. Double tight end set. DeBray goes slamming his way right through the middle into the teeth of the defense up to the 18, and Mustangs just electing to, feel like we're talking about 3 yards in cloud of dust right here.
Yes. Yeah. The only difference is Grapevine doesn't need to score points right now. We're just whittling down the clock. But it's funny. I much prefer watching a well thought out running attack than I do the spread. The spread is is fun, but it's the school of thought everywhere. And I find more enjoyment in watching a well-executed, guard pull and a running back staying behind his guard than just simply throwing a slant route. But
it's gone from a game in a lot of ways from just the physicality that you saw, and again, a lot of it has to do with the changes in rules. To it's become more of a finesse type game. It really is a game of numbers, but almost like basketball in terms of spacing and so many playmakers on the field now. It completely changed from where we were 15, 20 years ago.
You've gone from 4 backs on the field to now you're seeing 5 wide.
Yeah.
Quarterback, even at the high school level. 5 wide, quarterback, just one read and go.
Yeah, dual threat guy who's can sling it and can run it. First and 10 for Grapevine with 1:50 to go in the ball game. DeBray takes the handoff. He drives his way past the 10 up to the 8-yard line. Another financial first down for the Mustangs. This has been Matthew DeBray right, Matthew DeBray left.
We saw, going back to your dual threat point, we saw that in spades on Saturday, and Greg Rice Jr., who, you get a kid who can execute both, and good luck stopping it. The team that beats Lancaster, if there is a team that beats him in the playoffs, is going to be a team that figures out how to contain him. And, obviously we witnessed what it looks like when really no one can stop him on Saturday. And I'll tell you what, the team that figures out how to do that, the team that, brings those blitzes to keep him confused, it's going to be one heck of a scheme.
First and goal at the 8. The play clock down to 8. Mercer just kind of milking that clock. Handoff to Bray to the 5, into the end zone. Nice job by that offensive front line, and Matthew DeBray with some aggressive running on that drive caps it off with an 8-yard touchdown run. 55-8 Grapevine with 49 seconds left to play.
One last extra point for the Braxton Russell? No, J.D. Rice.
Yeah.
Sure, he appreciates the opportunity.
Yeah, right. Rice, what a year he's had just in terms of PATs. Left-footed kicker. He's just a junior. Good snap and hold. Rice's end-over-end kick is good. He is perfect on the season. I was not going to say it before he kicked it. Sure enough, I was going to.
I wasn't either.
I was going to jinx him. He got it through, though. 56-8. 49 seconds to go in the fourth. This is Mustangs football on Champion Sports Radio.
Living in North Texas provides all of us with an amazing quality of life, including an affordable cost of living, outstanding schools, unbelievable cultural opportunities, and the best sports around. But we also have to put up with severe storms. Hi folks, Champion Sports Radio President and Founder Thomas Lee here to tell you when a hail or windstorm comes through your neighborhood, do what we did and call Greenleaf Roofing. Greenleaf Roofing is a fully insured, locally owned and operated company built on the values of amazing craftsmanship, affordable options, and innovative solutions. And they are proud that those values still stand as a foundation for their business today. And did I mention Greenleaf Roofing has 24-hour emergency service available? It's nice to know Greenleaf Roofing will be there in a hurry if you need them. After the first experience, I became a customer for life and have used them on 3 different homes. But don't just take my word for it. Learn about the Greenleaf Roofing difference yourself by calling them at 972-379-9109 or go online to greenleaf-roofing.com to find out how you can get your free quote. Greenleaf Roofing, the #1 choice for all your roofing needs.
56-8 Mustangs after the 8-yard touchdown run by Matthew DeBray. His second rushing touchdown of the season. A little squib kick that comes down at the 15-yard line. Taking their run of the 20 up to the 25 and then push back. All right, they're going to mark him at the 20, just shy of the 25. So 42 seconds left to play in this ball game. 56-8 Grapevine. They'll get their 8th win of the season. They are undefeated at 7-0 in district. Finished with that unblemished record, district champions. And Abilene Wiley is in their crosshairs next Friday night at 7 o'clock. First and 10 at the 24 for O.D. Wyatt. And hey, Zach Chris must have been listening to us. They're going I formation with the quarterback under center. How about that? Straight ahead on a trap play to the fullback. I haven't called one of those plays all year.
Yeah. Yeah, you almost forget what a fullback is.
There has not been one play all season long where a team has lined up in the I formation and given it to the fullback straight ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that is quite a fullback, and Jordy Rodriguez at 5'10", 240 pounds. I think they're just trying to get him a football.
Yeah, one of the graduating seniors.
Well,
there's another graduating
senior.
Sling
it out to him on the near side, pass caught by Bryson Coleman.
Coleman, if I heard the PA announcer correctly at halftime, going to play football at Northwestern State and be a mechanical engineer.
Well, that was his final play of his high school career. And the final play of this ball game, 56-8, our final score. Both teams come out, and after playing 4 quarters of football, they come out and wave to one another and tell each other good job. And the Mustangs win it tonight, 56-8, the final score over O.D. Wyatt. GDYO postgame show is coming your way next here on Champion Sports Radio.